We're gonna get going. Um,
Yay.
so yeah, the last episode, I think.
Until we get distracted 1,000 different ways and into a 40-minute argument.
Very possibly, we're gonna find out. um, so yeah, uh, I don't really have anything clever or witty to say. Um, I guess we'll just get started. I guess for the last time, who wants to recap? Everybody.
The DM should do the final recap.
Oh, you are so shit. That is so shit.
That sounds appropriate.
So, it's been a long journey. You guys have had some interesting adventures together. Not all of you were here at the start, but you're all going to be here at the end. And
Possibly in parts, possibly as one piece.
also true. You have successfully, at long last, rescued King Hecaton, the king of the storm giants, from the hold of a oddly shaped squid ship in the middle of the ocean. You've returned to Maelstrom with the aid of your conch given to you by, taken, really, from Grood Hogg, from a very fat, large hill giant lady.
No.
Oh, no, that's
No.
right. I don't know why my brain did
Starboard.
that. Who did you take it from?
The Frost Giant.
Frost.
The Frost Giant, that's right. You stole it from the Frost Giant Jarl Storvald, that's right.
We did not. We took it from his throne room. We did not know it was his, technically.
You stole Jarl Storvald's conch. And
We also stole his dragon eggs.
You stole a dragon egg. And Sarissa allowed you to keep the conch. You faced down a dragon in her hold. You did some investigating, and you found King Hecaton, and you've since returned. I think that's a good place for us to pick back up, unless there's anything else someone feels necessary to point out, or something I'm forgetting that you feel is vitally important. Bueller? No? All right. So, I think I'm on the wrong map here, but I think I'm just going to move you guys. Unless, basically, upon your re-arrival in Maelstrom, you arrived back on the sigil you arrived in before on the lowest level of the hold. King Hecaton took no time to sprint, basically, out of your sight, up the stairs, and he is clearly making his way toward the throne room. Is it safe to assume you're all following?
As fast as our
Yes.
tiny legs can take us.
Okay.
As best we can with those stairs.
I've already put your tokens here, so you don't have to move them. Basically, he runs straightways through the past all of those giants that you maybe fought or maybe were allies to you before, who all just kind of stare mouth agape at Hecaton bolting through. He makes no motion to stop and say anything to them. He just pushes his way past. Tug and Cog, the stupid hill giants, immediately upon seeing him in his wrath, Cog raises a finger as if to say, stop, I need to see who you are. And Tug's eyes go wide and just slaps Cog's hand completely out of the way. And Hecaton just pushes the doors wide open. And there we see there are two storm giant guards who have been posted in here. Hecaton bursts, basically. Your tokens are not in the right place, but you can imagine the scene that Hecaton bursts through the doors. The storm giants both immediately fall into a kind of salute, while also being reminiscent of a prayer. The king has come, the king has returned. As you enter, Uther is pacing back and forth in the room. Sarissa is just sitting on her chair trying to calm him. The doors slam open. Uther stops, turns, grabs his trident, sees the storm giants in this very sudden, salute. Sarissa is dumbfounded. Uther, with his weapon drawn, just basically drops the trident, and it clatters. It makes this huge clattering on the ground. You can probably see out like one of the windows as some whales just see the clattering and just stop dead and start like staring through the window of the hold. And there's a very tense moment here. And Sarissa still just seated, completely confused, baffled, really. Hecate just immediately like comes loose. His muscles relax, and he just sprints for his daughter, and he runs over, and they embrace in a hug. And Uther looks like he's like lost all of the breath, like he can't even breathe. And he suddenly spins on all of you. Yeah, you guys come like sliding to a halt in the room. And
just wave.
Uther says, are you responsible?
Yes.
And Hecate and Sarissa are just embraced in this hug and completely ignoring this. And Uther just sort of walks over.
Told you we would, didn't we?
And Uther kind of gives you a nod, and he walks over to his brother Hecate. And Hecate like reaches behind Uther's neck and like pulls his head into an embrace with Hecate. He says, brother, I see you're well. And there's kind of like a wink in that statement. And Uther just like does that like exasperated laugh. He says, Uther says to Hecate, you must rest, brother. You must be weak. You look. And Hecate just kind of like flexes his muscles around Uther. He says, I look fine. It's time we find a dragon. What do you say? And he kind of turns back. Whatever they need is theirs. Friends. And there's a moment where like Sarissa is clearly crying as she looks at all of you. And she says, Father, they're welcome here. They know that. And she just looks, just through tears, like looking at all of you, trying to smile, but just overwhelmed with emotion. Uther starts saying, who did this? Who captured you? I will search the seas myself. And Uther kind of turns his very sudden ire on you. He says, well, speak, tell me. Where can I find these creatures that captured my brother, killed my sister?
Didn't one of them say, yeah. That.
And
those were the ones holding him. Do we think they're the ones who actually took him?
I think the Kraken Society might have been working with Imarith.
And Hecate nods. He says, brother, calm yourself. This Kraken Society's no more. They saw to that, didn't you? And there's like a smile on his face, like reminiscing about you like murdering the ship.
Yeah.
Well, assuming there aren't more hiding somewhere else.
Hecate kind of nods.
We should have kept that boat. Oh, well.
And
I mean, you could always tell...
it was kind of creepy.
Hendrik.
And I guess I must have forgotten to do this last session. Oh, because you teleported out. That's right. I wasn't expecting you to leave like that. I think
Bam.
You expected us to stay on the boat?
No, but there were other methods of egress. So as you say that, like the camera kind of cuts, like a hard cut, back to an open ocean. And we see that it's still dark out. Cloud covered. There's moonlight straying, through the clouds onto that squid-shaped boat, and it's just full of the corpses you left. And in the darkness, we start to see these tentacles rising up from the ocean, massive. The kind of black that reflects no light whatsoever. That just sort of worms its way up onto the boat. And there's one huge, like monstrous tentacle that just reaches up and around the boat. Another one comes from the other side And then another like 2 or 3 tentacles end up surrounding the ship and just dragging this thing, cracking and creaking and breaking, and just snaps it as it pulls it under. And then the camera kind of backs out and sees like a still, quiet ocean, sunlight beaming down, clouds, and it's quiet and peaceful. And
I'm gonna go back for that boat.
and then
I'm sure we'll be able to get it. No one's gonna hurt that empty boat on the sea.
yeah, and Hecaton says to Uther, "I believe we have a dragon that needs killing. That is our priority." And Uther just gives like this solid nod. Are you guys like? What are you doing? What are you?
Does
I'm gonna look to my party members and very kind of gently say, "Do we dare ask about the missing sister?"
I think we should be more concerned with the dragon.
I'm worried about the missing sister being with the dragon.
That.
Yeah, that. Do they know where the dragon is?
Also,
Have-
a good question.
I don't know if you've sent anybody out looking for Imrith, have you?
And Uther just kind of looks at Hecaton, and there's a look between them, and Uther just shakes his head. He says, I didn't want to risk sending any of our reinforcements away. And Hecaton just kind of like waves his hand away, like as if it's dismissing it. He said, "She's a blue dragon. The desert is her domain. I will find her soon enough." And he kind of moves away from Sarissa for a moment, and he stands like next to this pool. I guess I'm moving my mouse like you guys can see it. The pool in the middle of the room. Actually, John, that's an accurate picture. That is a fairly accurate picture, save for the boat, but that's okay. And let's see. Yeah, I should have opened this. I said I was ill prepared, so you guys have to bear with me here. Hecaton uses the pool in the middle of the room, I think, which is also doubles as a scrying pool.
Neat.
And I should point out too that as he's doing this, as he's standing by the pool, Sarissa has stood up from that scary dragon chair, and she has removed that scepter thing from her neck, and she has walked up to her father, and she has just very casually like thrown it over his head, as if as if it's his. And he just looks at her, and there's an exchange of there's an exchange of glances between the two of them, and he just kind of gives her a nod and goes back to scrying. Let's see if I can find it. Oh no. Well, that's good. Did they really not include this in this module? I swear to God, I'm going to shit a brick.
Sounds painful.
I mean, it is.
From experience, no less.
Well, at any rate, I'm not super concerned with the details, but he does something with the scrying pool. It takes him a few moments. Sorry, I'm looking for something while I'm like talking, which is why I keep interrupting myself. At any rate, so yeah, Uther and Sarissa are kind of like exchanging glances, and Sarissa approaches all of you while this is happening, while Hecaton's got his face buried in the pool. There it is. And Sarissa walks up to kind of all of you, and I guess I'll move her token. And she looks at all of you, and she kneels down, and she still obviously shadows. She dwarfs all of you. She says, "I believe my father has a mind to go kill this dragon. I'm sure you'll help, As such, it's been indescribable. My mother always thought small creatures such as yourselves were some of the most powerful, big-hearted creatures in the land, but I now see she was absolutely right. My father could use your help, I'm sure.
Well, I'm game.
You owe us nothing. Our obligations to you can never be repaid as it is.
To be honest, after getting your father back, letting him go into combat against a very, very large blue dragon by himself seems really counterproductive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see this thing through to the end.
I feel like all of this has been prelude to something worse. We really need to help your father.
Our mission from the beginning was to ensure that the Ordning was returned to normal. And I don't think that's possible while this dragon is still out there.
She is a tricksy little witch.
Yes, well, not the words I would use, but you're not wrong. And I think you kind of see, like, the doors creak open on the far side of you, and you see these two hill giants, these, like, just dumbfounded, drooling, like, hill giants, like, trying to, like, look into the room to see exactly what's going on. And I think one of them catches one of you, like, you know, glaring at them, and they immediately, like, try to pull away. One of their fingers gets trapped in the door, and you hear them, like, knock their heads against each other as they're trying to move away from the door. And Sarissa just laughs, like, she chuckles for the first time in probably some time. She says to you, if you require rest, you know that you're welcome here. I don't know how comfortable the beds are for small folk such as yourself, but we've got food, resources. He'll want to go soon, I'm sure.
Should get a good night's rest. We should get a good night's rest. You should never do something like this on a bad night's rest.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
Hecatan just, like, suddenly, like, jerks back from the scrying pool, and as if he's been listening to you the whole time, he says, I require no rest. I will rest when she's dead. I know she's east. The desert of Anarok. It will take us a great amount of time to get there. And he looks at, like, all of you. Well, are you with me?
Of course.
And he smiles, and Uther reaches out for Hecatan. He's, brother, please. You've just returned. Hecatan, like, swipes Uther away. Says, I'll rest when she's dead.
My lord, sire, king, if it's all the same to you, if we're to be your allies in this fight, I think we could use rest after getting you off that boat, if that's okay.
Not to mention, if it's a long trip, we should provision.
No,
We
Yeah.
could rest on the trip there.
That's what I'm saying. We
Sure.
just get the stuff we need and rest on the way there.
Could Sarissa teleport us closer like she teleported us to Mirabar?
That was my concern. I don't want to instantly be ported there if we're not ready for this fight quite yet.
And Hecatan kind of just waves it away. He says, you're welcome to join us. We'll be finding our own way. And he kind of, like, this, like, kind of evil-looking smile crosses his face. Just, he's really eager to kill a dragon.
as you are.
He says,
Right then.
we won't be walking, that's for sure. We have rocks on standby. We just need to go swim to them, climb aboard, and our flight will begin. Should take us a few days,
Perhaps we should come with you then.
unless
So
you
we
have...
all arrive at.
And how do you want to swim there, Celinda?
And, like, Sarissa kind of, like, her eyes go wide. She says, yes, it's not safe for you to swim from here, I'm afraid. Father, please, the small creatures, the pressure from the water. And Hecatan says, oh, well, you can't find your own way there.
We do we know how long it would take Kendrick to get to Waterdeep from where we left him?
Where would we meet him, though? We can't just meet him at the dragon's lair.
We told them to go to Waterdeep.
Oh.
So if it's gonna take them time to fly there, it gives us time to fly there, assuming
Sarissa
if they can get
says-
us to Waterdeep.
I'm assuming you're having this conversation kind of out loud.
Kind of, yeah, more in character. Just like, how long do you think it would take Kendrick to get to Waterdeep and get us there?
Sarissa says, I might be able to help. I've never teleported someone aboard a moving ship, though. We could do as we did before, and I could try to teleport you aboard your ship.
Uh,
I
Go for it.
I
I'm
suppose
for
if
it.
he's just above the water, we could I could use the sending stone to tell him to
I-
fly low too. So if we miss and fall,
I
it's
trust
not that
Sarissa.
bad.
I agree.
She got us exactly where we wanted to be last time.
However, I have an idea. Let's do sending anyway, and just tell the ship to stop for a minute so she's not aiming at a moving target.
That is a good idea.
No offense, Sarissa, but you've never teleported to a ship before. Let's not give you a moving ship on your first try.
And she laughs and smiles.
She's not Scotty, after all.
She says, No, of course, it's a concern, but I think I'm rather good with the teleportation.
Who's making kissy sounds?
Not me.
I was smooching at my dog because I wanted him to get away from something.
Sarissa just kissing at us.
She's making kissy noises at Phelim now? This is awkward.
So yeah, I'm actually going to use my last spell slot. Hey Kendrick, stop the boat for a bit. We're coming aboard.
And I think the message you get back is something like, dude, you can't be serious. This communication shit. What? And it just cuts off.
Bam!
Well, okay. So before we teleport, King Heckaton, where in the desert are we going? Does anyone have a map?
He says,
Didn't we get a map at some point?
are you wanting me to put you on the map? Is that what you're asking?
No,
No,
I thought
well-
as a party, at one point, Phelim insisted we picked up a map at Waterdeep. I don't know why I think that, but it's just...
I mentioned it a few times for us to find a cartographer that would get us a map. I want to say we did do that at some point.
Was it a map of the entire north, though? Like,
I'm not
I think
sure.
was it our first time in Waterdeep?
It was a
We were gonna
long time
head
ago.
out towards... No, we got the map with Drajan because we wanted to see where the hell they wanted us to go. Didn't we get a map for that? So it'd be kind of the northeast?
I don't know. Honestly,
We got a map in Mirabar too.
That's
We looked for a cartographer in Mirabar.
That was also for the north, though. Like, and because we were going to be exploring the.
Spine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need to see the map now. I just want in game to establish that someone has pointed out a place that we are flying to.
Yeah,
so we're
I mean-
not just flying over a massive desert and hoping to just run into King Heckaton.
No, we're not going to do that.
So-
Yeah, he'll tell you. I mean, when you guys see the world map, like her layer is marked on there. It's not like I can be like, you don't know where it is.
Oh, yeah, no, we know that.
So
I've been studiously avoiding saying anything in case no one noticed.
yeah, so like he'll tell you like it's basically the northeast tip of the desert before you get back into the mountains, kind of thing. It's not far from there. You know, he'll give you accurate directions. There's not a chance it's going to be like, okay, you guys have to search the desert now. Like I'm not gonna. It's the come on,
Yeah,
it's the finale. Like I'm not gonna do that crap. But yeah, so is your plan then? You're gonna let Sarissa teleport you back on the boat on the airship?
Yeah, we sent the message. We give them a minute or two to actually stop the ship, and then just kind of get those clarified directions in that minute, and then let Sarissa do her magic.
And then I'll also try and figure out, based on the directions and the math, how many days it would take the airship to reach there. so we can tell King Hecaton when to expect us.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Just so if he gets there days early, he doesn't assume we're not coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. We can totally do that. All right. So yeah, it takes Sarissa a little bit. She has to go prepare the chamber for the teleport. So you guys have like a few minutes of kind of standing around, and Uther and Hecaton are discussing things, and Uther is telling him about Niran and Nim and how Mirren is still up in her room just wailing. She's just, well, that's a poor choice of words, but she's just up there crying and throwing a temper tantrum about this. No one has seen or heard from Nim in days. She seems kind of MIA. Hecaton is telling Uther, like, it's very clear from their conversation that Hecaton is leaving Uther here in charge while Hecaton goes off and kills the dragon. He is going to take with him a few storm giants at his back, so that's, he's not going completely alone. He's not that dumb.
During this pause, Beth and Celinda's not here. She just went AFK, but she'll kind of approach timidly both Uther and Hecaton.
Yeah, okay.
And just kind of, when this arrangement was made, we asked my companion and I to have a tour when this is all done. After the dragon's dead, is that still something that can happen?
And Hecaton looks really taken aback, like he's surprised at that. He says, "Child, when this dragon is dead, this Stormhold is going to have a celebration the likes of which the world has never known. You're more than welcome to come and celebrate. If you wish for rooms here, they're yours to keep."
Oh, I wouldn't want to be underfoot. In the way. I'd love to see more of your castle?
He kind of smiles. He says, "Of course. My home is yours."
Thank you.
Gives you a nod.
And she'll just kind of like go off and, again, assuming Celinda was here, I'm assuming they do giddy girl chatter things.
Okay.
Oh, of course they do.
Okay.
You guys are going to come back here and have some sort of weird, like, sex party thing? Is that what's happening?
Oh, God, no.
No.
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
no.
Celinda kind of like.
Celinda might be able to do that with giants, but Beth's still a little. Never mind.
I don't know.
You can save your giant potion.
Oh God!
I don't know, man. Celinda is half dragon. She's like part dragon.
She's not half dragon. That's not what a dragon blood sorcerer is.
I know, but like her ancestor was a dragon. I don't think that she would want to get involved too deeply with
anyway.
Giants.
Yeah, anyway. Okay, so yeah, some time passes.
Awkward.
That's a conversation that just happened. We get teleported onto the ship. Hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys get teleported. I'm going to move you over to the other map here. Whoops, maybe. And I'm going to move myself here. Cool. So you guys appear on the airship. And there's a couple cultists and what have you. I'm going to move that. I guess you guys were... I don't know. Where would Kendrick be by now? That's the question.
We were pretty far north from where we had originally...
We hadn't been gone long.
I know. You were up near...
We left from Neverwinter and we traveled west, so he's probably in the ocean around here somewhere.
Well, no,
If he was heading, like maybe just above the Sea of Swords.
Yeah.
Well, was he
Because
coming
he was
out
flying
I thought he was
to
going
Waterdeep.
Yeah, I was going to say he was going to Waterdeep, so why wouldn't he go along the
Yeah.
coast?
Yeah, I guess he would.
Well, I don't know how far out he, if they were going to want to go straight line from out in the middle of the ocean or straight to the coast and then south. Right.
I mean, we've had a habit of doing straight line, and post haste, he probably would have done the same thing.
That's true.
But
Yeah, and you guys left from... You left from Neverwinter? Is that...
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sure.
Because we were going to go all the way to Baldur's Gate, but then we realized, oh wait, that's way too far south for
Yeah.
where
Because
the
it's not
trackless
actually on
sea-
this map where they wanted us to be.
Yeah, but because the trackless sea is actually just everything west of
Mm-hmm.
the Sword Coast.
Okay, sure. So, yeah, you kind of pop into existence on top of the ship, and yeah, there's Kendrick and a couple of the cultists who are like several of them immediately flee to like the sides of the ship. Kendrick surprisingly like goes to reach for his blade, but then just like shakes his head like, why?
I told you.
And Kendrick the cultists are like all wide-eyed and freaked the fuck out. Kendrick is just looking at you almost disappointedly. He just says, I'm just not going to ask. And he just makes this massive shrug and turns to like walk back up to the like the navigation wheel. Like he's just over it.
Thank you, Kendrick.
And he just like with his back turned just kind of waves to you. It just goes up to the navigation wheel. And you guys are back aboard your airship.
Instantly tell the crew, head east.
And the cultists are just like all just standing there, like shrugging, shaking their heads, like, "Are you fucking serious right now?"
Yep.
And Kendrick just yells out again with his back to you. He's like, "Eastward!" And like everyone just sort of goes to their work and starts turning the ship. Can we see how far this is? So it's going to be about 780 miles from where you are. So, yeah, that's not short at all.
So it's like 4 days. It's like, because we're just under 200 miles a day, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do the math here. Let's see. 780 divided by 192. Yeah, it'll be less than 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. 4.06. So you're just over 4 days.
No one has any wind spells, do we?
Nope.
I do not
Nope.
know. So you guys have 4 days aboard the ship, presumably to meet. Well, that did not work well. To meet
Question.
Hecate. Go ahead.
Sorry, question for the DM for these 4 days before we get this big fight. Don't suppose we hit a mile marker, did we?
A mile marker?
A level.
Oh, no. Sorry.
Okay. No, I wasn't sure if, because...
No. I think you should all be like level 10, except for I think Reggie.
Yeah, we are.
Maybe make Reggie level 10.
That's up to Reggie.
too.
Reggie, if you want to be level 10, I'll let it happen.
Cool. Yeah, I get some new martial things at that.
Just so he's not a little bit behind us while we are fighting an ancient blue dragon.
Oh, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not a problem. I don't know why you're freaked out.
Fighters are
Um,
OP.
I'm not freaked out.
So, I realize this map doesn't have a compass rose, which is really cool. Yeah. So, is there anything you do in those 4 days? You know, write letters home.
I already wrote a letter home, I believe.
Okay. Well, I'm just asking. Anybody else like got a few days? Do you plan for a fight? Do you like what do you do? How do you spend your days?
Actually, that's not a terrible idea. Though I'm not sure what kind of resources the boat has. No, I'll go to a cultist and talk them up and say, "Tell me more about like dragons, your lord and master, as well as other dragons."
Clout,
And see what I
the
can
great
learn.
dragon of the north.
You haven't
Yeah.
said that in too long.
Yeah, so I'll let them do their thing, but I'll see if I can kind of suss out any other kind of information about dragons in generals. Dragons in general.
So I should tell you this because before you, actually,
Will spell to have against this.
so I'll tell. Shit. Trying to figure out a way to fictionally give you this information. I should have given this to you before you left Maelstrom. So
Retcon.
yeah, basically. But like I said, Hecaton is gonna take some soldiers with him. They're going to basically swim to some rocks where they keep. Wow, they're They're
Where they keep rocks.
yeah, where they keep rocks.
Swim to
It's
the
true.
yeah, swim to the shore.
Rocks on rocks on
That's
rocks. Hey,
It's
bro,
rocks all
do your
the way
rocks have
down.
rocks, bro? So they're going to use the rocks to fly across Faerun. But what they discover is that Imrith is, as you all already know, an ancient blue dragon. However, she is sometimes known as the Doom of the Desert. Sometimes she's also referred to as the Dragon of Statues. Her lair that she's been keeping is, and Hecaton would have told you this because he would have scried it, is a ruined amphitheater that's half buried in the sands in the northeast of Anarok, which you can already see on the map. She is a spellcaster, and like all blue dragons, she's immune to lightning damage. Oh yeah, they actually ride whales to whalebones. The islands, they mount rocks and fly the remaining distance to the desert. So yeah, you guys have your days to spend as you will.
I practice my new maneuvers.
Okay, a good use of time.
I check the strings on my bow, my arrows, all that whole nonsense. I prep for battle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about what I do.
Anyone else? Balaam?
I'm going through my spell list, and I'm also reminding the party that we do have an air elemental with us that we could potentially use in the fight.
And a fire.
No, I mean sitting in our party loot. We have a gem
Yeah,
that
right.
summons an air elemental.
we got that forever ago.
You guys have a lot of things you've never
Um,
used.
We have haste.
Yeah.
2 haste potions in the party loot as well, I believe.
Well, I think that's. I mean, I have one of those in my inventory.
Okay. Well, there should be another one, right? Who has the other one then?
Well, we all have the potions of giant size, which,
Mhm.
if I'm not mistaken,
I think you still have the other ones, Linda, because we bought them.
I will give that to Beth then.
Potion of haste.
Potion of haste, yes.
I'm gonna have to
Got
get
it.
up out of my chair.
so yeah, I think with this fight, we just need to use absolutely everything at our resources. So
Somebody should probably put the Ring of Mind Shielding on one of the squishies in case we die.
Ring of mind shielding.
Yes, a Ring of Mind Shielding keeps people from being
Oh, there
able
it is.
to
No, I-
scry and shit on you.
I
and
wasn't
if you-
seeing it in the loot.
Okay, well, if one of us dies while wearing it, our soul will go into it, so might make it easier to be resurrected. I don't know.
Okay, I don't want my soul being trapped in a ring.
yeah,
I'm
that
kind
sounds
of with
pretty
him
good.
on that one.
Looks like we still have a potion of greater healing. Reggie might want to take that because he's going to be in the thick of it.
I mean, technically, I have it, but
Oh, okay.
I
I
have
will
two
wear-
two standard potions of healing.
Yeah,
I have
I
a
still
bottle
have
of antitoxin
I still have 2 potions of healing as well and an antitoxin.
and
Oh,
a
I
potion
will-
of giant size.
Winged serpent. Did we ever figure out if that was magical?
pretty sure it's not. I think it was just a
those are
symbol.
Yeah, those are kind of like signet
Sig-
rings for the.
Centaurum.
Gotcha.
I am going to put on the Ring of Mind Shielding though. If nobody else wants it.
It's
Go
all
for
you.
We also have a scroll of greater invisibility.
That's not going to do much good against
Yeah.
a giant or dragon though.
Not an ancient one.
I use one sending to say goodbye to my mom.
I am going to go to Kendrick with Oberon,
Okay.
and I'm going to ask him to take Oberon to my parents if I don't make it back.
And Kendrick says, all right, but I have no reason whatsoever to believe that you're not going to make it out of this. So, sure, it won't be
I
an
know,
issue, but
just in case, tell them I want Alistair to have him.
he just kind of squints. He's like, okay, got it. Will do.
You know where my parents live, right?
Nope,
Icewing Manor?
not even a little bit, but I'm sure I can figure it out.
I mean, we're nobles. Just ask for Icewing Manor.
If you can't find it, that probably sells for a pretty penny.
If you can't find it, just go to the Rat Queen and give him right to Alistair.
And
Anyway,
fine.
depressing start.
yeah, you say the Rat Queen, and Kendrick just kind of like looks at you, and his head kind of cocks to the side. Wouldn't have figured you for a place like that, but all right, got it.
Tell him it's from Celinda.
Yeah, it's fine. And he's completely calm. Like he has no, like he doesn't believe that this is going to come true. He has no reason to believe it, but he'll acknowledge it. He'll do it if it becomes necessary.
I mean,
but
she's hoping not, but just in case she wants her kitty to be safe.
trying to protect your pussy, I get it. It's fine. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Gotta give Alistair that pussy.
yeah. So yeah. Cool. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. So, days pass. You guys are all collecting yourselves and writing up your last wills and testaments and all that fun jazz. And yeah, you find after 4 days. I think what actually happens is that as you're approaching the desert, and you can see the vastness of the desert as you're closing in on it. One of the rocks is actually kind of begins to kind of swoop around the ship, kind of drawing your attention down. And the giants have kind of settled outside of the desert, within, probably a few miles of her lair, where we can safely assume it is. And you guys land the ship, or you leave it hover as you descend the ladders. That's up to you. And there is Hecaton standing outside of the desert he's got 4 storm giants with him.
Please tell me the fire giant is with him as well.
No, these are all storm giants.
What? She was
Yeah.
going to help us.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe he didn't want a fire giant with him. He wants people he trusts. But yeah, he brings 4 giants with him. And yeah, you guys are ready to make your approach. So I guess we'll just assume here that like west is west. I don't know. This map is a little iffy. Would you guys like to approach from a certain direction? You really can't approach from the east, but north, west, or south is your kind of call, I guess.
Which way looks the safest?
None of them. Like, that's not going to necessarily be helpful to you. I should... Oh, here, wait. Let me... As you get close, let me describe the thing. I have box text. Are you ready? As soon as I find it.
Okay. Box text is always great.
Here it is. Okay. So, your long journey ends here in the desert. A churning cauldron of black clouds fills the sky as thunder peals and lightning flashes. Half buried in the cold dunes is a crumbling amphitheater adorned with statues, many of them broken, the rest worn smooth by wind and time. 2 large trebuchets stand atop the ruins. Where cheers once rang out across a great city, now a solemn fortress stands before you, waiting for you to draw near.
Well, Imarith knew that we were in the north because she saw us there before, and then again in Maelstrom. So I think maybe the south would be the safest approach. I don't think she would be expecting that.
To be honest, can we hide this many giants that have been hanging out for a day or two?
Well, that's going to be the question, because what's going to happen here is that Hecaton will give you the kind of give you the go ahead. Like, however you want to approach, he'll go with you. So if you want to do a stealthy approach and let the giants create a distraction, that's possible. If you want to just like rush this place, you can do that. However you want to go, Hecaton is with you.
Do we think there's any potential to luring her out?
What I am worried about is any kind of like alarm system she might have on this place.
Right.
What she has guarding it is what I'm really worried about.
So do we think we can lure her out? Does Hekaton think we can pull her from its...
I mean, that's really up to you. Like, how would you recommend luring her out? Sorry, I was looking for
Make a
something.
lot of
Now the
noise?
fucking I can't find what I was looking for. What was I looking for?
Not sure, but I don't think we could. If I was in a place of safety and I knew people were hunting me, I wouldn't come out.
Yeah, so I think this is what I was looking for. So storm giants aren't stealthy, obviously. They would prefer to just brush the place, direct assault style. But they will adjust their tactics based on what you want.
So flank. Let them go head in, and then we can go in from behind.
So you're going to take it from the rear?
It's
Who's
best
gonna
that
say
way. It's also safer.
True.
Fine
So
with that.
you want them to go in from what, like north and south, and you'll go in from the west, or like how is flanking represented here?
If it's an amphitheater, there's like some kind of front entrance, right? Or is it just circular, nondescript?
I guess I have to show you the map here because at this point you're asking questions that showing you the map would help with. So this is the surface. Oh Jesus, that is really zoomed in. Can y'all see that? Or do you need
I see all black.
I dropped my character in.
Well, I was gonna say maybe don't drop your character wherever. I don't know how. There's the whole thing.
Okay,
illuminated.
then I'll delete my character. I can't really see anything because I was zoomed all the way out.
Yeah, I can't see anything without dropping a character.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
let me drop your characters then, because I don't know what all you're going to be able to see. Does the whole map illuminate when your token drops?
No, it's lighting.
Is it really? Did they dynamic light this shit? Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
kidding! They did.
Yeah.
That's weird. I wouldn't have expected that.
I can't see where my token is though.
We're at the
All
bottom
the way to
left.
the bottom.
I didn't drop someone's token. I think Alton, or did I
Yeah.
drop you?
I don't see there. Okay,
You did now, thank you.
I'm fucking tiny.
Yeah, this map is fucking huge.
It's
I
real
mean,
big.
I don't see why we can't just start from here. Seems as good a place as any.
I mean, that's good for us. My recommendation would be for the Giants, like someone already pointed out, they're not stealthy. They probably have been seen already. Have them go in loud, obnoxious, fight whatever they run into, and then we sneak in afterward.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're the support. Hekaton, do your thing.
Alternatively, I'm just gonna throw this out there. We could all drink our potions of giant size
Yeah.
and
That's
all
a-
just storm in there.
How long do
Yeah.
those last?
I think
24 hours.
Is it 24 hours? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doubles our hit points.
So that's really weird. Sorry, I'm just thinking here. I'm trying to help you guys out because I'm realizing that I didn't think this map would be dynamically lit. I really didn't. That makes almost no sense to me. Because there's a lot of shit on this map you are not seeing.
Can you not remove the
You
dynamic
can.
lighting?
I can. I'm just debating it. That's all.
Is there a handout for this map that has the image in it
I don't think so.
that you can just
but
show
let
us?
me-
'Cause I know-
There might be. You might be right. I didn't even. Let's see. That's a cool handout, but that is not what I'm showing you right now. Oh, here. Sorry. I mean, it's still gonna kind of ruin it because you'll see everything, but
And we just see we see the numbers, but not any of the what things are. So
right, yeah, I guess. But it's also true that you would have probably seen that from the sky because you did have a spyglass,
me.
as I recall.
yes.
We did.
Now, not to
You
be
actually
too
bought one and-
metagamey, but this open 2-2 that looks like a giant hole is probably leading to her lair. Like,
Does it seem like that's how she gets in and out?
I mean, it's safe to assume that a dragon could definitely fit through there.
What are the star things on the map?
They're Goliath plinths.
Gargoyle plinths.
Gargoyle. Why did I say
And
Goliath?
she's known as the Dragon of
Statue, yeah.
Statues.
It's
So
true. Yeah, it's definitely true.
those are probably guard dogs.
So tell the giants to go after those.
So going
And
right
then
into
we go
two-
down, and then we go into the lair after.
I mean, we could just go. We're right across from the
The
door.
stairs.
But there's
Stairs
other
down.
entrances, obviously. Like, keep that in mind, that you don't
We're
have to
right
use that.
across.
I know, but I'm just letting you know there's other ways down.
Oh, it says Gargoyle Plinth right in the bottom.
Yeah, it
Jesus
does.
Christ.
That's why I didn't really want to show you the map. Like, it kind of gives a lot away.
I mean, we would have saw that there's gargoyles all over there, though, from the sky.
Yeah, I just think we send the storm giants after that, and then we get into the lair itself.
Okay.
Are we going to take Hecaton with them and have the 4 guards basically go after them? And
Yeah, because Hecaton probably wants the dragon. If his guards
Yeah.
can take care of the guards, then have him with us for the main event.
There's 2 trebuchets. We probably saw those trebuchets, right?
Mhm.
Shit,
Yeah, he
those
did
are gonna
describe
hurt.
those to us.
We're gonna get hit. That's gonna hurt.
Okay, so I had noticed this on the map, but I also noticed that from where our tokens are, we can see it. Those tents over to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we take the potions after we get in, so we're not such big targets.
Yeah, wait till we get into the lair. Wait till we go down into the lair.
That's fine. But those tents over to the right, guys. And I point them out straight east of us.
See,
Who are they?
I don't think there's going to be a dragon in it.
Probably her cultists. Dragons are fucking cult. They all
No.
have cults. Everybody seems to be insistent that I'm not a dragon, but I have myself a cult.
Oh no, you were just saying you'd know about cults.
Okay.
Well,
Should we check those out or just go in the stairway here after?
I don't think
I say
Emirates-
we keep our eye on the prize. We go
Yeah.
straight for Imarith,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much
Agreed.
it.
I don't think Imrith's cultists, which is what I'm assuming those are gonna help us.
So,
Yeah, straight for the hole.
are the rocks just like essentially they're just the mode of transportation, or can the giants use the rocks to take out the trebuchets?
Aerial
Mm.
bombardment.
Yeah.
That is not in the module, but I love it. So,
So I will suggest this.
yeah.
That's
So,
a good idea.
so do you?
Like, hey, we saw trebuchets. If you can get the rocks to just upend them, make them useless, it's less cover, it's less fire your guards have to take.
So,
Right.
just to clarify, what you want is you want Hecaton to go with you, but you want the other storm giants and the rocks to attack the surface.
Yes.
Right. And defend from above, making sure nothing follows us down while we're dealing with her.
And
They're
make sure
basically a
nothing gets out while
distraction.
we're down there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
She's proven very slippery.
yeah.
If she gets out, we're raising this place to the ground. And we're gonna salt the earth.
I think it's a little late for that.
She'll never come back here. If she gets out, we're gonna fuck her lair up.
Okay, sure. I don't think salting the sand is going to do anything.
Wow. It was a
I mean, it'll taste horrible, but I think that's already like a thing.
It-
Too much salt, man.
I didn't mean it literally, Jesus.
You just read that in a book, didn't you? You never learned what it meant.
Yes.
All right. It does sound cool.
What
Okay.
does it do?
But that's the best kind.
I'm gonna take my 10% chance of the day to try to get some direct intervention as well.
So,
you don't mind.
are you going into that doorway?
Oh my god!
Oh
Lathander
My
is
god!
with us.
Ah,
He doesn't have to act now, I don't think. But it can be kept in mind.
what in God's
Well-
name? I mean,
I'll tell you what.
Literally!
I'll tell you. I'll give you an idea. because I have thought of this.
well, you have
because
to describe the assistance you seek because I'm at a fucking loss right now.
Okay, it can match any cleric spell. So I'm looking at Gate, and I would like maybe Lathander to send me an avatar of himself. So perhaps like one of the angels from the Monster Manual.
Oh,
He
send us a
summons an
Planetar.
angel with us, or a solar.
So yeah, solar would be even better.
I'm just saying like an avatar. Like he sends an avatar to assist.
Make Valem.
I think a solar would be
avatar
too powerful. I think that's even
a
against an
Planetar
ancient
would be
dragon. I
really-
think that's a bit over top. But wow,
I mean,
talk about clutch.
And
Lathander.
John never plays anything but Valem ever again. You're already in love with the dude.
Okay.
Oh, poor Sean.
I'm getting.
I mean,
Okay.
that's
Sparring
my
with DMs.
thought is that he uses an avatar of himself, so it would be like summoning an angel to go with us.
So I'm gonna need a moment here.
If you're cool with that, I can drop the. I think I can drop an angel. What? I have the monster manual in Roll20, so I can fill out an NPC sheet by dragging it in.
Oh, actually, the thing I think I would use is I think it's in the SRD, so I should be able to do it. We'll see. Give me a moment. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's well. The thing is, it's funny that you did that because I had a name. Nobody probably wrote it down. John, when Valem was in some town, I want to say it was Daggerford. You went to that church,
Mm-hmm.
and in fact, you were greeted by a certain, let's call it an angelic creature. Do you recall?
He didn't give me a name. He was in the form of the priest.
Oh, there it goes. It did work. Cool. Okay. Yeah, it actually did have its own name. Hold on. To Google Docs. I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, shit. It's going to take me a minute because I definitely had a name for that thing. All right. So while I'm doing this, you're going down the stairs with Hecaton?
I didn't know you were
Oh,
using the stairs.
that was-
I thought
I found the name. Sorry.
large hole.
Well, there's stairs in front of you. Like, if you, just to be clear, that hole is deep. So if you jump, you're gonna take fall damage.
What if we jump as giants?
That's something else you could probably do.
Excuse me. I have to pee again.
All right.
I'm fine with taking the
Yeah,
stairs.
all I
though.
have is Brother Jaden. Brother
Yeah.
Jaden was the priest from.
If it's fall down, I thought it was like a ramped path. So
No,
if it's just
no.
straight
That
hit-
hole in the ground is just a
I
hole in the
mean-
ground. If you try to
Yeah.
jump, you're gonna have to try to save against fall damage. Like I
It's-
said,
then no. Stairs are better. I thought
It's
Yeah.
probably just how Imrith gets in.
yeah, because go figure, she's got wings.
Yeah, I'll have wings at 14.
We're not gonna make it 14.
You're
I
not.
know.
Not in
Which
this
is
game,
sad,
at least.
because if I had known I wasn't going to make it to 14, I probably wouldn't have picked Dragon Sorcerer.
Anyway, I'll have to probably make a token for it. Well, wait. Conrad, if I give you control of this token, can you
Yeah,
Can
I
I-
can fill it out. I can drag the monster manual.
Well, no,
entry.
I don't need that. I need the token
Oh.
for it.
Yeah, I can do that too. Well, I mean, it'll set a token for it because the monster manual has tokens for everything.
Okay. Well, that's not what I wanted. I'm gonna give what? Oh, I guess that's why. Original.
Conrad is now your Lathander Valem.
Well, I'm going to give both of you control of this, and then it's already set It's the weird name with the T in front of it. Reginald, see
Oh.
if you can add a token to
Yeah,
it. I don't
okay.
know if you'll be able to.
So, what is it?
Large celestial.
It's a planetoid.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is so good.
Oops.
Oh, yeah,
Did
don't.
Didn't mean to do that. No, so that just...
You should just go to edit. Oh, you shouldn't be editing actions. What are you doing? Uh-oh.
Hmm.
What happened?
That whole character sheet reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't right. There it
is.
goes.
But there's no token attached to it, I don't
I'll
think.
be right
It's not doing the token. Okay, let me just grab the image then and paste it in Discord.
Be right back while technical stuff's being done.
Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to. The other thing I guess I could have done that would have been interesting. Because ooh, let me actually look. That's another idea now that I'm realizing it, but where did I put it? Do. Well, you know, John, I'll give you. I'm gonna whisper you. I'll give you, just because this might be easier for me to do too. I'll give you an option here.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Holy crap. I shouldn't have drank so much coffee.
Back.
Okay.
I really, really shouldn't have drank that much coffee this morning.
Why did that happen? Okay. All right, I'm almost done. Give me just 1 second.
Hey, can't blame you for divine intervention, man. That's what
Yeah,
you don't
I mean, it
expect
turns out
before level
divine
20.
intervention really fucks up everything. Way to go, John.
Yeah, I
It's only his second time using it too. It's like, holy shit.
I just think it's funny because when I mentioned it in Discord, like when I first got it, Sean was like, "Yeah, good luck. I've only seen it work like once."
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie, as soon as you said you're gonna try your 10%, I'm like, yeah, okay, might as well just try to get out of the way. But and then I hear you go, and you're like, oh shit, what did I miss?
Wow.
That's
Very
pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, this is so clutch.
Shit.
Right when we fucking needed.
Oh, that's why, because I named him. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Do I do... No, that should be speed.
I tell you what, I think this is going to change Valem's retirement plans after this campaign, because now that he's seen Lathander legitimately come to his aid like this. Like,
Okay, almost. Nope, not what I wanted. Sorry. Wrong button.
Retirement? What's that?
Valem's old.
Valem's a baby.
Okay, so... All right, so that's all set. Sorry, that took...
Balaam still needs to make babies for his mama.
That's...
That sounded weird.
Yeah, that definitely sounded weird. So, all
Not
right,
getting my mom pregnant.
is Mel back?
Yes, I just made the weird comment.
Sorry. I'm just so used to weird comments I can't tell who makes them anymore. So, How are you?
It's not a lie.
How are you getting downstairs? Or how are you
The
getting down?
stairs.
Okay, are you all agreeing on that? You're going downstairs?
Assuming Hecatan can fit through that door, yes.
Yeah, it looks
He can
huge still.
he can duck his head.
And it's 20 feet wide, the doorway.
Okay.
We don't know what kind of booty he's got.
That booty go clap.
We're not gonna make it to the end of this campaign today if we keep this up.
I mean, we're already done. I mean, John rolled for for fucking angelic assistance and he got it. So this game is over. So, mind you that thing hasn't shown up yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I will move you guys. I already put your tokens down on the next map, so. Dear God. Okay. Can you see yourselves? I'm on the wrong layer.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes? Oh, I'm really tiny.
Yeah.
Compared to King Hecatan.
So, yeah, you guys walk down the stairs, and you find yourselves in just like this small hallway, basically.
Do we not want to be caught unaware? Hopefully.
So you guys show me where you want to go and how you want to do this, and then I'll like try to keep Hecatan following you. You might have to remind me as always. And as you guys are coming downstairs, you're hearing the sounds of battle from up above. You're hearing the clashing of weapons. You're hearing the trebuchets going off. The sounds of like the rocks slamming into stone and like pebbles being thrown. I mean, it quite sounds like war, in fact, up there. And you guys make your way down the stairs as you're hearing this above you. So, what's the plan? What do you do?
I can go invisible for free if you want me to go look around a bit.
How are you going to communicate back to us?
Someone give me a sending stone.
Yeah. Really good idea.
Don't you have one? Don't you and Beth have?
I mean,
a pair of
Yeah,
as
sending
long
stones?
as I'm 100, I think 120 feet away, I can send messages every 120 feet as long as I know which way you are, as well.
So
Just
we won't
Be
move
careful,
inside.
because Imrith could probably see you, even if you're invisible.
I know Imrith can see me, but if there's anything else in here, they won't see me. If you hear me scream, come running.
Except we're not going to be able to see where you went.
You'll hear me scream.
If she goes unconscious, we'll see her.
Okay.
Potion. It'll double my hit points in case she does catch me.
I think maybe all of us should at this point. It's not like we're gonna sneak around with
It's only,
Hecaton in front of us.
yeah, it does last 24 hours. So I'm gonna quaff my potion.
Yeah. Let's potion up.
All right.
Okay.
And that does increase your size, if I recall.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're all same size as Hecatan. So maybe we should someone take a potion and then start walking forward, and then the next person take a potion and start
Yeah.
walking, so we don't all crush each other all at once.
I'm
I
gonna walk
agree.
over in front of Hecaton, and then I'm going to take my potion, and then I'm going to cast invisibility on myself,
Okay.
which doesn't cost me a spell slot because it is my Arcana today.
Okay. Yeah. So Hecatan will move forward.
Jesus. 5.
And I now have a 156 HP.
I have 172.
I have 78 HP times, yeah, 156.
Jesus Christ. This is absurd. Actually,
Strength
Alton.
25.
Well, I guess the question is, does it make you a giant size immediately?
It makes you huge if you are medium or smaller.
Okay.
I actually wanted to
Your
save
strength
that potion.
becomes
I'm not taking
25,
Okay.
and your hit points are doubled.
Okay, Alton's not taking his? Nice.
No,
Elizabeth,
I'm going to actually ride on Reggie's shoulder.
Elizabeth, are you taking yours?
Fine.
Yes.
So, Selenda, are you're invisible?
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to sneak. I'll roll stealth if you want me to.
I would like you to roll.
switch.
Sean,
I
can
have
you set the
advantage because I'm invisible.
light up on my token?
What? That's probably not what I
I think
want.
it's what 40/20.
What's giving you light?
The emerald, one of the eternal flame things that Valem made for me before.
Did that work?
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Celinda.
Okay. So Celinda's gonna move forward carefully.
So what you see in this room, what you start to see is that there's partition walls made of tight-fitting sandstone blocks that are supporting the ceiling of this chamber. Yeah, there's that gaping hole that leads outside that's up above you. Yeah, the light, any light that's coming from up above is does not extend beyond this room. You can actually see dragon tracks basically coming and going from, like someone's landing through that hole like the dragon and then is moving north through the room.
Okay. Do I see any traps in this room? Can I check for traps?
I mean, you could check for traps. Give me a perception check. Yeah, you don't see any traps.
Oh, I will let them know what I see and then keep moving. And I'll let them know I'm going to keep moving.
You know, you're on this big pile of sand, like kind of walking up and on it. As you get closer here, I don't know if you can see it yet. You might be able to. No, really? Or they didn't create a light there, which is cool. In the room to your north, are you going east?
I'm going to go this way. Yeah, I'm going to see what's over here. I'm basically going to try and explore the whole room before I move on.
Okay. There's just partition walls over here.
Quick question, Celinda. Was your potion greater invisibility or just regular invisibility? Or
Mine's
when
just
you cast
regular.
it? Or you cast
Mine.
Okay.
Oh,
Because as soon as you
I
use message,
can't.
it'll be visible.
Yeah, I can't message you guys.
Yeah,
then.
you have to use the sending stone.
Oh, can I use the sending stone and not have it message?
I think because you're not technically
you're not
casting a
casting a
spell,
spell.
you're using a magic item,
Oh.
and
But
you're
remember,
not doing
you
an
can only
attack.
use it once a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will save that then. And I'll just look around. Do I see anything in particular off in this corridor side over here?
Hold on. No, I mean just more partition walls, basically.
Okay. So then I will go back this way, and I'll actually go back to them and be like, I don't see anything yet. This place seems fine. You could guys come along. Play. Room. This place looks safe.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second here. As you're kind of coming up upon that little doorway, I guess we'll call it, you're seeing these dragon tracks, moving up into this room that are on the floor. And you can barely make it out. But you can see some very mild torchlight coming from north of you quite a ways. They didn't actually put that on the map, so sorry. But it's coming from pretty far north. I can ping it on the map for you. It's coming from up in this general region. And you're hearing what sounds like chanting. It's very muffled,
Okay,
though.
so
it's
she's
quiet.
gonna hug this wall over here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just gonna, like, peek in and look around. If they're in light, I should be able to see them, so...
I know,
I
but
can't
like I said,
actually see them.
they're not,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, people
Yeah.
who made this map didn't actually put fucking light on it.
I just imported a torch token into the game.
Well, the issue here is like the torchlight isn't, because I can just add a light, like I'm capable of doing that. But it's
Well, let's say I set up a token that does, just drag and drop it, and then it sheds light as if it was a torch. I use that sometimes to make it easy to, players like light braziers and things like that.
yeah, this works. Okay. Yeah, this isn't going to be like accurate, but we'll.
Excuse me.
Wow, way to go. Can you see that light now? Yeah, that is too big.
No, I can't.
That is too big.
Torch is 2040, right?
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not making it a torch because it's. You're so far away from it. Like I'm trying to make it bigger.
Okay.
Maybe you're just too far away. That's why you can't see it yet.
I'm pretty sure as long as there's light on a map, your character can see it.
Might just be like a door or something in the way, something blocking line of sight.
There's not.
Or you might have not. Players can see light.
It is. No, it is.
Hmm.
It's fine. Like I said, I'm not super concerned about it right now because we can do this in fiction. We don't have to do it mechanically. Like you can see that there's torch light. You can hear the chanting. It's at a distance where you can't make out any detail.
All right. What is directly around me on each side of the doorway, at the very least? Like peeks her head in, and like looks around.
Let me see what you see here. So you can't really see much.
She's not going into the room. I should note that.
Right. So in the corner of the room to your right, because it's the closest one, you might barely be able to see it on the same side on your left. There are like floor to ceiling piles of sand that have been pushed up in the corners.
Okay.
What is your passive perception?
14.
Okay. Yeah, so you see these massive piles of sand that have been pushed up in the corners, but that's basically all you can see.
I see dragon tracks, right?
They're heading in and out of this room, yes.
Oh, so they're back and forth. Do I see any that are like fresh? Like the top? Can I tell whether any of these are like recent?
Give me a, I guess, investigation check or survival for tracking, I guess. Yeah, they're of all ages.
I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go in there if there's things in there. I guess I'll come back to the party where you guys are and be like, there's things up ahead. There's something up ahead with torches.
Okay.
Do you have any idea how many?
Do I?
Sounds
like chanting.
Yeah, I mean there's a group.
Yeah, it's a group, I guess.
Chanting doesn't
Probably
sound good.
cultists. Probably cultists. Is a dragon lair. There were tents outside, so.
Do you think there's any way around?
Oh, I see why. Okay, hang on. That's dumb. I don't know why they did that. Here, let me. Celinda, do you want to move your token back?
Sure.
I mean, this is going to be too bright.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Are those what I think they are?
I don't know. What do you think they are?
Those are Yanti.
They kind
Does
of look.
Celinda know what they are?
I guess that's a good question.
Snake people. All I know is that they're snake people for
It's
now.
a fair
Unless I could
assumption.
do like a history or arcana or nature.
You could make me one of those checks. Nature, probably.
Can I just do arcana?
I mean,
Yanti are pretty magical creatures.
fine. I'm not arguing. They're snake
I didn't do
creatures.
very good. Yeah, they're some kind of snake people. So yeah, someone was like, "There's some kind of snake people."
Snake people.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. We are in the desert, and snakes are pretty deserty. Like the worst ones are always in the desert.
So I will
Right?
also describe because they're torchlight. So all of them have torchlight, but you can't see the light. I don't know why they said it that way. That makes no fucking sense. But at any rate, so what you could see was this group of snake creatures that appeared to be chanting. You were obviously, of course, were completely invisible, so they couldn't see you. What they were chanting around, though, was an alabaster statue that was carved to look like the head and neck of a giant demonic snake erupting from a block of stone.
We should probably go stop that.
It was you were pretty far to make out like minor details, but what you could definitely see was that it was very tall, probably at least 20 feet. It had a fanged mouth open as it was like glaring down, and you could see that the snake creatures were like, the snake head statue was glaring at what looked like a giant hole in the sandstone floor. Obviously, you were too far away to see what the deal was exactly with the hole in the ground.
Yeah.
What language were they chanting in? Do you know?
It's probably Yanti, which I don't know. Did I recognize the language? I know Draconic, Abyssal, Dwarven, and what else do I know?
So,
Elvish, Halfling, and Giant. I know a lot of language.
So, what I'll say you saw, because I'm generous and it's the finale, is that you saw them chanting. You couldn't understand what they were chanting. It was a language you definitely didn't understand. However, something happened at the end of it, where they were chanting. As they're chanting, they all approach the hole in the ground, and as they finish this chant, they finish this vile prayer, and then one of the snake creatures jumps into the hole. And as that happens, the whole room is filled with faint whispers. Awful, evil, prophetic whispers that are actually in a language you understand, which is Abyssal.
Oh.
And it says the following, the prophetic whispers. It says, rack and ruin, flash and thunder. Let them claim the dragon's plunder. Death is close. Her doom has come. To blade and spell she will succumb.
Someone's trying very hard not to cackle right now. Once she gets back, she does start cackling under her breath. She's like,
What's so funny?
she repeats what the abyssal demonic shit just said. Apparently, we're gonna kill a dragon.
We knew that.
Yes, but apparently a demon god also thinks we're going to kill a dragon.
Yeah,
so.
I don't like the fact that makes that demon god happy.
I'm kind of with Reggie on this one.
Well, it may not make him happy. It might just be a prophecy, and now they're going to send these snake people after us to try to stop the prophecy.
Or the snake people could help us.
Or it could be telling the snake people to get the fuck out before they're caught in the mix.
Either way, I don't think the snake people are going to be.
Let's keep moving before she slips away.
Yes.
I agree.
I can't tell if the tracks in here are.
So, Linda, did you go south?
Hang
I
on.
haven't gone any. This is as far as I've gone.
Can I tell from the dragon tracks here which ones are most recent?
Survival check, I guess. Okay.
Nice.
I mean,
Take
yeah.
me to the dragon!
Yeah, I mean, the dragon flew down in here not long ago and slammed into the ground, and the dragon tracks do lead directly north into this northern room.
Alright.
So we know she's. Are we gonna attack these guys, or are we gonna try and sneak past them?
I don't even see them.
You can't see the light?
I don't.
Oh, there, I see them.
Pull out.
Did you say you're gonna pull out?
Yeah, I have to pull out. I'm not wearing a condom. I have to pull out.
I'm gonna.
He needs to zoom out.
So hang on. Excuse me.
So the dragon went through this room with the cultists?
So as you enter the room, Celinda, right about where you are, and Elizabeth, since you've kind of come up with your light, and Valem, you're not far behind. I guess I should move Hecaton. Give me a... Hecaton will kind of hang behind you. Hecaton looks obviously like super eager to go kill some shit. Like he's getting really frustrated with his stealth stuff. Give me another stealth check, Celinda. Okay.
I'm not doing bad at the stealth thing today.
No,
You
you're
just
not.
had to say something.
But unfortunately for you, as you're kind of moving in this room, and you're standing now, like quite literally on top of this pile that's being pushed into the corner of the room. You start to feel the sand basically under your feet begin to shift. And
I pull up my bow and round on Celinda.
you don't. This isn't about you just yet. I'm gonna need everyone. We are going to roll initiative.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And
shit.
someone is vacuuming in the background. Something is going to happen to Celinda before the action starts, but we'll get to that in a moment. Where did I put her? Shit. There it is.
Shit. Why am I wasting those now?
Oh, I got to roll for Hecaton. Damn it.
She could be standing on Imrith right now.
Probably am.
Hecaton. Okay. Everybody roll.
I
Yep.
rolled so bad.
So, I'll move that over there. So the first thing that's going to happen is, Celinda, you start to feel the sand shift underneath your feet. And it's that really like action movie thing where a couple beads of sand start to like roll down. And then abruptly the sand pile explodes as this massive blue dragon like comes pouring out from the sand. I will move her up to her proper layer.
That's classic.
Oh, shit.
And she is
I'm
going
pretty
to
sure
use...
she's bigger than that.
She
Or is
actually,
because we're bigger?
it's 'cause you're bigger.
Right. Yeah.
I had to check. I'm like, wow, she looks small. I'm like, no, you guys are just huge.
Yeah.
I
I'm
can't
just
even
like,
see her.
Yeah, you haven't seen her yet. You're around the
she's
corner.
Okay.
like 10 feet from where I am.
And her whole body just unfurls as the sand like pours down from her wings and beak, and she's got this just evil grin on her draconic face. And she is going to use the opportunity to attack you. And she said, I believe, but correct me if I'm wrong, dragons can speak in draconic, like in their dragon form.
Yeah.
There's no limitation
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
So she yells out in draconic, which whoever speaks draconic, you all understand this. She says, "What did it say?" And as she does that, she is going to what is she going to do to you? She's going to bite you.
Says we're gonna kill you.
She's going to try to bite you, Celinda, as she comes forward.
All right.
I guess I should move.
While she's doing this, Celinda's gonna repeat the prophecy back to her in
So-
draconic.
What's your AC?
My AC is 15.
So she hits
But
with a
if
20.
it's above a 20, if it's a 20, no, that still hit me.
It's a 20. You take 20 piercing damage as her teeth
Okay.
sink into you. And she kind of pulls a chunk out of you and snarls. And as she's like tearing away at you, she's like, "What did it say?" And
She repeats it.
all the Yuan-Ti are like chittering and chattering, and their torchlights moving around. And the Yuan-Ti actually say to her something in return. Yeah, one of the Yuan-Ti yells out in I don't know if they speak Abyssal. I know they speak they speak Abyssal. I don't know if they speak Draconic. But they yell out to her and they say, "You must face your enemy and battle. And Imrith, like, her wings expand and she stretches out like she's ready for this fight. So she's expanding
Does she
out.
speak Abyssal?
She speaks a shit ton of languages.
I mean, so do I.
Give me a second. I know she speaks. Oh, she speaks Common, Draconic, Giant, and Terran.
I mean, if she didn't know what the Abyssal
But they
prophecy said,
speak in Draconic, so they respond to her
Okay.
in Draconic because that makes perfect sense. That makes
yeah,
more
that
sense.
says more
But
sense.
yeah,
than-
they tell her something that conflicts with what you heard. That much is absolutely true. So she pulled. She's ready. Her wings are expanding out. She's looking for a fight. Elizabeth, you've seen this. You now see that the dragon has, like, you can basically see the shape of her behind this massive cylinder. And she looks fierce and angry. What are you gonna do?
Bow out, hunter's mark, and I'm taking 2 sharpshooter shots.
All right, let me put a sharpshooter on her. My screen is like overflowing with shit right now. All right, take your actions. Does not hit.
Ancient dragon, ancient dragon.
20 doesn't hit? Oh, fuck.
20 does not hit. 25 does hit.
Whoa.
Shit.
So you do what? 31 plus 3, so 34?
31 plus 3
34.
Plus
We should have
2
gone and gotten harsh nag.
plus 2. Yes, okay,
It's
sorry, I'm
34.
doing that backwards.
Um,
And then I am gonna go, shit, it's the dragon! And I'm gonna duck back here. That's what?
You forgot to.
okay. Yeah, Alton.
Dragon, dragon.
like- I'm trying to fit, like, in here. It's just weird because it still has me on top of Valem. I'm not sure if I can do that. That might be better.
You can get on top of Valem, but after the fight.
You knew that one was coming, Beth.
Yeah. Wait,
Just
do I still
boy.
have 30 feet of movement? Like, as a larger creature? Is that the...
I have the thing open for giant size.
It does not say anything about movement speed. I
Yeah,
don't
so I'm
think.
assuming
Okay,
that
so
I think
I
we
would-
should.
You do have an extra 5 feet of range with your
Reach.
melee attack, so yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Well, I'm
reach,
just trying to figure out where I'm measuring from for my 30 feet. So, yeah, I'm going to actually duck over there. Because that'll give me cover from any potential dragon badness. So, and instead of on top of Valem, she's going to go hide behind Reggie.
I'm like right in her face, and I'm not liking this.
Yeah. Okay, Alton, you're up. What do you do?
I am running to get a clear shot,
Okay.
and then I am just going to start with. Hold on a minute. Actually, not. Yeah, I'm just going to start with Eldritch Blast.
Where is your token? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, 'cause
He
you're
didn't
tiny.
drink the potion.
'Cause you're
He's-
tiny.
Yeah, he's under
Yeah,
my
because I'm
token.
still normal size.
I was gonna say, I'm like, where? I was like, oh, okay, that's why. So I got to zoom way the fuck in. All right, sure. All right. So you're gonna Eldritch Blast.
And neither of those hit.
Neither of those hit. Anything else your turn?
I am going to
You-
back to Reggie's other shoulder.
Okay, I was gonna say you might want to climb down because I'm gonna get all up in her face. So
That's
Okay.
okay. I have an idea. I'm coming with you.
Okay, Balaam, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna move into this area, and as I notice that this room is extremely dark, I'm just gonna cast daylight, like right in the center of the room here.
So basically, you're gonna make me create another fucking thing.
Just open up the whole thing. Just get rid of the dynamic lighting.
I don't know. The dynamic lighting's really not gonna help here. I just need you want me to turn on global illumination, is what you want.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, that'll make my life easier. So fuck it. It's gonna get real bright, so be ready. Ugh.
Yay, we can see.
My eyes.
Okay, is that your action?
That is my action, and I just kind of shout out, stay separate, stay apart from one another. so she doesn't catch us in her breath weapon.
Okay. Anything else your turn?
That's gonna be. Actually, I'm just gonna move a little back in here. That's gonna end my turn.
Okay. Imrith's turn. She's gonna move here-ish. I think she can get all three of you in her breath weapon. Let me double check that to be sure. 120-foot line, 10 feet wide. Just get, yeah. I think she can at the very least get Valem, Selenda, and
think
maybe
she
Elizabeth.
could probably get.
But well, I've got the corner there.
Yeah.
I think she can get all four of us. Like, since we're all giant, like.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay.
Do I at least get advantage? Damn
Yeah,
it.
I'll give you like I'll lower the DC for you.
Okay.
Or I'll give you advantage. You're gonna need it. So everyone needs to make a dexterity saving throw. DC is outrageous. Oh shit! Elizabeth makes it.
I'm going to use Indomitable and re-roll that save.
Selenda makes it. Valem does not. Reggie does not.
Do I need to
I'm
make it?
using my ring of evasion to automatically make it. Then
Okay. Alton.
Do I need to make the save? I mean,
I mean, you could jump. You could jump out of the way. You could jump off Reggie's. Are you down?
yeah.
He's
No,
still on my shoulder.
I'm on his shoulder, so
So you can make.
I'm,
you can,
I'm going to dive off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
you
dex
can.
saving to dive out of the way off of Reggie.
Okay. Okay. So, Elizabeth, Selenda, and Valem saved. Oh, geez. I guess I have to roll that. We'll GM roll. Whoops. That's not how you do that. So we'll just do the average. So those of you who failed take 88 damage.
God,
Those
I'm
of-
so glad we drank that potion.
Those of
Yeah.
you who save take half, so you take 44. As this bright blue spark of electricity just fires massive, massive lightning breath across this entire room. It illuminates everything as it like passes through you. We get that X-ray effect where we can see your ribs and your skeletons and everything. She just like snarls and as the lightning is receding back into her mouth, she's just pleased. I thought it would be this easy. And that is going to be her. I think she actually has some movement left.
Yeah, go ahead. Move away from me, bitch.
No, she's not going to move away from you. She's not that dumb. She's going to move
I was gonna
around
say,
you
Come on.
here.
Alton's at 0.
Nuh-uh.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't take his potion.
What? Oh, shit.
Okay, so it's Hecaton's turn. Hecaton, of course, is gonna wielding his weapon.
Come on, you badass.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. His movement speed's got to be huge. Yeah, he's got 50 movement speed. 15, 30, 45. Perfect. Runs up right next to you, Valem, with one thing of movement. Snarls at her, and she just like snarls back. And he is going to. Does he not have a fucking weapon? Oh. That's weird. Yeah, he is going to cast. He uses as a weapon. I don't know why this is true. Don't ask me. I didn't make this shit up. He uses a broken chain as a weapon.
Oh, it's because he's still.
In chains, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's gonna wail on her. He still does good damage. He hits, and then he crits. So his first
Sweet.
attack does 14 bludgeoning damage. I don't think she has resistance or anything. Let me just double check. Nope. Okay, so she takes 14 from the first hit. And the second hit, she takes 39.
Wow. That's the second one.
And he's just raring to go. Like he's ready to just kill this bitch. Reggie.
All right, I am going to use my action to dash and get up to about here, and then use my action surge to make 2 attacks against her.
Okay. 29 definitely hits.
And I'm going to put... Where did it go? Goading attack onto that. Oh, it didn't... DC is 19 right now. Yeah, strength bonus kicks ass.
So she fails it. So she's going to take 12
So-
extra. 12
Yeah, she takes 12 extra damage, and then any attack not against me has disadvantage until my next turn.
Okay, sure.
And then second attack,
Also hits.
and
Oh shit! Your weapons do 3 times the damage.
yeah, my shit's fucking crazy right now. I have plus 13 to hit, and I do 3d8.
So are you doing
that-
anything on top of that one?
No, not on this one.
Okay.
Oh, Beth, are you rolling your enlarged damage, Beth?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I-
just had some kind of really shitty damage rolls. I had an
Okay.
8 and a 1.
Okay.
So do you have anything else your turn?
Yeah, bonus action. I'm going to use second wind.
Okay.
Gain back 11. I rolled a 1. But that's still something. 73. That ends my turn.
She is going to use one of her legendary actions. So I need Reggie, Selenda, and Valem to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh wow, I'm doing good with this dex stuff. Shit.
Quit jinxing yourself.
So all of you fail. You're gonna all
Yeah.
take.
I'm using my ring again.
Okay. So you take 17. Valem, you'll take 8 damage. And except for Valem, Selenda and Reginald are knocked prone as she begins to violently flap her wings against the ground, kicking up sand in your face, and the force of it is extremely powerful. And she actually is going to use the flapping of her wings to begin to fly. And she is going to fly up to half her speed. So she's going to fly here.
Oh, wait, no, I'm prone. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, you are prone.
I would
Selenda,
get one, wouldn't I? Don't I get an attack of opportunity?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's going to be sad, but
Your strength is 25 right now.
It's also
Oh.
That actually hits.
3 times. You get 3 times the damage.
Yeah, so
Nice.
roll 2 more
So roll-
d6.
2d6.
Three.
Wow.
15?
That's
Okay.
It's not
That's the
bad.
most.
For
That's the
an
most
opportunity
damage I've ever
attack, yeah.
done hand to hand.
Okay.
That's the first time I've seen you swing a weapon.
Selenda, your turn. You're up. You are
I hit
prone.
the anchor on that boat before.
He's
So-
usually swinging something else around. We all know
I'm
this.
standing up. And and I'm going to. Is she within 30 feet of me? Oh, it just says range self. Hang on. Okay, she's within 60 feet of me, right?
Mm-hmm. She's definitely within 60 feet.
So I'm gonna fucking breathe ice at her.
Okay. What is she? What are you rolling? Go ahead.
I'm gonna cone of cold her.
17 con save, which she fails. So she takes
And
38.
I am
damage.
going to. Yeah, no, I'm not going to reroll. This is only 1-1.
Okay. Anything else your turn? Bonus action?
I don't think I have any bonus actions, so no.
And I think on this turn, something is going to happen because, of course, it is. Valem, you're the first one to sense it. But the natural light that was coming into the room behind you from that hole that she would normally fly out of, it suddenly becomes like 6 times brighter than it should be. Like as if you can imagine the clouds up above are parting. The storm is just like there's a hole driven through it from the sunlight. And behind you, in almost the brightest light imaginable, there's a figure that just sort of appears on this mound back here. And I'm going to have to make that token so much bigger. I think it's like that big, at least. Is it large or? Yeah, it's large.
It's just large, actually.
Okay.
Solars are
Tell me
huge.
it's-
So it's that big, I think.
It's
Yeah.
smaller than
Yeah.
us.
It is smaller than you. And there is just this angelic-looking figure. Bright, the brightest light you've ever seen emanating from around it. It seems to be glimmering in the sunlight from above. And it's just put its sword into the sand beneath it and is just looking forward. Why don't you roll initiative, Valem, for that creature?
Sure.
Can you roll initiative for it? There we go. Oh, shit. Can everybody hear me? Did everyone just go?
Yep.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah.
we're good.
Everyone got real fucking quiet. Okay. So, yeah.
Tense moment. Planetar.
It's a big
arrived.
deal.
Yeah, he's just like standing on the edge, ready to fuck some shit up. It looks like. But first, Elizabeth, you're first.
It's a bonus action to drink a potion, right?
Yes, it is.
I am drinking that potion of haste.
Okay, cool.
Stepping out here, Kai, and I'm taking 3 sharpshooter shots at the dragon.
Okay. No.
Fuck me!
No. You sure you want to roll sharpshooter?
Yeah, apparently her AC is higher than. Shit. Okay, shit, lot of good that did me. Boop. Back behind the corner.
Okay. Valem, you're Planetar.
Okay, Planetar, upon surveying the scene, is taken to flight
Mm-hmm.
and has 120-foot flight speed.
Mm-hmm.
Just rifles past everybody, getting right into Imra's face,
Mm-hmm.
and swings its mighty sword twice.
The first one hits but does no damage. Like her scales, it just kind of bounces off. The second one definitely hits. Jesus Christ.
For 52 points of damage.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and the sunlight in the back of the room almost fades as the explosion of radiant light from the Planetar's sword just like slashes into her. She like recoils back, just absolutely furious. Does it have like a bonus action or anything?
No.
Okay, it's Imrith is going to use one of her legendary actions to make a tail attack against the Planetar.
It has disadvantage since of my goading attack.
Okay.
That is in effect until the end of my turn.
What is that Planetar's? I think it still hits. Yeah. The Planetar takes 11 bludgeoning damage as her tail slams into it, which does barely any damage to it. Alton.
Okay.
Is
Yay!
it just normal bludgeoning damage, the tail attack?
Yeah, I think so.
Because the Planetar is resistant, so it's halved.
Oh, yeah, John, you'll have to pay attention to that because I can't. That's going to be a lot of shit on screen for me to pay attention to. There's a lot
You
going on.
poor boy.
Oh yeah, he's immune to fear and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he
Yeah, that's
takes 8. Or no, not 8. Sorry, 5 from the bludgeoning damage. Valem, you're up again. And I should point
Okay.
out that as this battle is like unfolding, basically, the Yuan-Ti are like quietly starting to like slip out. Like they appear to be heading in like this general direction. And I mean,
Deuces.
they're like some of them, they're like real quiet. Like some of them have like literal snakes for legs, like, and they're just like slithering quietly through the sand, watching, just sort of like through the sand, trying to get away. But Valem, your turn.
I'm gonna head up into this direction
Okay.
again to try to kind of scatter us out, and I'm going to target Emrith with
Ow.
a guiding bolt. I'm going to cast this at 5th level.
Okay. That actually
24.
hits. Oh, so
So it's 24 damage, and the next attack anyone does has advantage.
okay. Bonus action.
Not this turn.
Okay. Imrith's turn. Seeing her attack on the Planetar was basically useless. She's gonna just swing around it, still within the range of the Planetar, so it doesn't get an attack. Reggie is gonna put all of her force into you, so she is going to. First, she's actually gonna cast. She's gonna use something she hasn't done yet, which because Sean's a moron. Let's see, 120 feet of the dragon, so that's basically everybody. Let's see, it's definitely Valem, Reggie, the Planetar, Selenda, Hecaton. I think, Elizabeth, you're out of it just because you're around the corner, I think.
Yep.
Each of you needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
I think I'm going to use luck to re-roll that.
Selenda? Or is she AFK?
She didn't say anything that I saw.
No, I think she said bio a minute ago.
13's better, but not going to be enough.
Oh, I see. That was the Planetar rolling. Okay. Hecaton's going to roll 2. Wisdom save. Fails it. He doesn't have any, like, cool bonus stuff, does he? I don't think so. Okay. All of you, and I guess I'll roll for Selenda. If she's still AFK. Oh, no, there she is. You need to roll a wisdom save, Gwen. Gwen.
I don't think we could hear.
Oh, she just
dropped,
disconnected.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'll roll.
Restarting.
I'll roll a wisdom save for her, which you know she's gonna fail because I'm rolling. Yep. Okay. So all of you fail your rolls, and you are all frightened for 1 minute.
The Planetar is immune.
Yeah. The Planetar made the save. That was the only one that did.
Oh, okay.
DC was 20. So she does that first. Then Reggie, she is going to attack you because you have pissed her off. So she makes
sense.
3 attacks. She crits you with her bite.
Oh
You
my
take
God.
21 damage, piercing. And then she's going to claw you twice. You take 28 slashing from her 2 claws.
So 49 damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh my God.
I'm at 11.
Hecaton's turn. He's frightened. He is... Oh, we are losing Gwen entirely. She dropped that up. Yeah, she's still out of Discord. So, Hecaton is just going to make his save again for the frightened effect. Wisdom save. Fails it. He is still frightened. Reggie,
What the heck, man?
your turn.
All right. Let's see. Stand up from being prone. And then I am going to drink my potion of speed. Bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am going to run the fuck away.
So you're disengaging?
And yeah, no, I'm not disengaging, but I am going to use one of my lucks to impose disadvantage on her opportunity attack.
Okay. Yeah, she's definitely going to. She's gonna try to claw at you, or no? She'll claw at you when you're running away. She still hits 27 and a 28. You take 13 slashing damage.
Okay, I'm unconscious.
Okay. Selenda, who I assume is still AFK. Yeah. We'll just get back to her. Does that sound good? Because I don't want to use her abilities unless you guys have a good idea for what to do with her.
I have no idea.
Okay. Elizabeth.
All right. Once again, I'll step back out. Regular shots this time because sharpshooter failed me.
Okay. 29 hits, 14 damage. 26 also hits, 25 damage.
This Hunter's Mark happens each time I hit, I believe.
Yes. Plus you get the one turn of Colossus Slayer.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to do anything else? Bonus action your turn?
No, I'm just gonna slip back behind cover.
Okay. Planetar.
Planetar, upon seeing the people that he's fighting with starting to fall a bit, he's going to impose himself between Imrith and Reggie, and he's going to continue his attacks.
Fortunately, 14 does not hit. 22 does, just barely.
35.
Okay, 35 damage. Planetar MVP. Alton. 1 success, 1 failure. Valem.
Now, being frightened, am I able to try to make my way to Reggie? Or
Can I
is
get
that
closer
too
to her?
close? Yeah, I know that's too close to. But like I can move kind of this way ish.
But then as soon as you
Yeah,
going
I
this
guess
way
I'm
will count
hitting.
as getting closer to her.
Okay. Right. All right. I'm going to.
Reggie, are you down, like unconscious or no?
Yep, I'm
Yeah,
unconscious.
he's unconscious now.
It should say 0 in my head. It's just 11.
Well, you're no longer
All
afraid
right.
of her, so that's the good news.
I'm going to go ahead and cast Dawn,
Okay.
basically up and around here, so this whole area is shrouded in.
Okay, so she has to make
This
a
gleaming
con
sunlight.
save. Fails her con save. Takes 23 damage from Dawn.
Back. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yay!
Anything
My
else your
laptop.
turn, Balaam?
Can't really do anything else. No.
Okay, so Linda, you're gonna get a turn because we didn't take your turn, so you have 1 turn. Before Imrith
Is
acts.
somebody able to use my sheet because it's going to be a hot minute for my computer
Oh, I
lets
can
me
as long as
log
you
into
tell me what
20.
you want me to do. You are frightened, so you
Um,
can't move closer to her, but I can cast.
Is she in an area where she can be fireballed?
Yes, you could safely fireball her.
I will fireball her then.
What level?
Do I have a 4th level spot?
I think you have 1 4th level
I
spell.
I forgot. Actually, do I have 5th level spells? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm close to level.
You're breaking up, getting real
No,
weird.
I'm gonna fireball her at 4th level then.
Fireball, 4th level. 31, so she has to make a save.
You got 1 1 and 2 2s.
I'll re-roll those.
Well, hang
then.
on. Let me
Anything I want, I
make
need
the
to.
deck save, please. Okay.
Alright,
She
alright.
absolutely fucks up her deck save. She fails it miserably. I don't think she
So-
can.
I can re-roll 1s and 2s with a sorcery point.
Okay, so you're gonna re-roll 3 dice.
Yep.
So what? 3d6.
So it'll be 3d6, and then it'll be 25 plus whatever you roll. Or 26 plus whatever you roll.
Wow, I rolled pretty good.
Nice.
So what?
Nice.
So 40 damage.
Nice.
Wow. Fuck yes.
Okay.
2 6s on your reroll.
Sweet.
Sean,
Thank you,
rolled
Sean.
2-6. Yeah. Okay.
You
She's
can only roll good if you're rolling for somebody else.
yeah. she's starting to look pretty bad. Like she's she's starting to limp a bit as she's like hopping around. She will use this moment to take a
I will
legendary
move
action.
back from her a bit too, as well. By the way.
Okay. All right. You're like climbing up a hill of sand.
Yeah.
She's going to. Oh, I guess she could have fucked you up on that, but she didn't. What is she gonna do?
Not be a bitch.
I mean, she's already a bitch.
Always a bitch.
I mean, we're dragons.
Yeah, she's going to use a legendary action to attack the Planetar again. She's going to make a tail attack at it, which definitely hits, but it's halved, right? So I think it takes 16 half to 8 bludgeoning damage. She's getting furious at this Planetar because the Planetar does not seem to be he's not being affected. And now, that was after your turn. Now she gets her actual full turn. I think she's going to... You know what? In a rage, I think what she's going to do is she's going to fly this way toward Hecaton. So I think the Planetar gets an attack of opportunity. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, and I probably shouldn't mention this, but are we in her lair? Because are you forgetting lair actions?
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of. But the thing is, like, they're not listed on her character sheet.
There should be listed in the monster manual lair actions for a blue dragon.
I mean, they are, but like...
part of the ceiling collapses, cloud of sand swirls, lightning arcs.
Oh, hold on.
In the ancient blue dragon...
I got it. Okay, layer actions.
I want to say I didn't want to throw too many bones at you, but with legendary actions, she can automatically make saving throws too.
Legendary resistance.
Yeah,
not legendary action, but yeah, she has 3 of those. She can make saves. So far, she hasn't really. I guess the fireball could have had damage.
Really... Well, she also had.
That's the only real save that she's had to make.
Well, I'll have her save that one then, so she'll gain an additional 20 points. She'll have taken half because she failed that roll.
Well, she
20 is still good damage.
49 points of damage. I don't know if you added that too.
Holy Christ!
For flying away from the Planetar, yeah.
I mean, Lathander,
probably a bad idea.
Lathander really fucking likes you today.
Yeah, Lathander's the bomb.
Lathander is not happy about this whole ordning thing being broken, apparently. Maybe he should have words with Amen, the Allfather.
Can she use a layer action? Like, is that her action?
It happens at initiative 20, so it would have happened before her turn.
Okay. It happens right after the Planetar goes, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. Well, maybe if she survives this round, which I doubt she will, but that's okay. She's going to try to kill Hecaton. Like, she's absolutely just beside herself with rage. So she's going to try to fuck his life up by literally killing him.
Bitch.
Let me GM roll 1d6.
Have you been rolling for her breath attack?
Yeah, it's not been going well.
It never does when you really want it.
What's his AC? So she hits with a bite, claws, and so she hits with all 3. So 37, 49 damage on Hecaton. Now it's his turn, and he actually has to flee from her because he's still afraid. He hasn't made a save. So he starts to flee, so she's going to get an attack of opportunity. He takes another 23.
Hecaton fleed.
I mean, he's frightened. He has no choice.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But he does get a save against her frightened effect now. Her frightful presence. So it's DC Wisdom save. Still fails. He is still terrified of her. He's just like running. Reggie, who's dying, fails a roll. Selenda.
Wait, my turn again? Oh, ooh,
yeah.
Nice. I feel like it's Christmas and I get to kill a dragon again. Did you take off my spell slot for that level?
I didn't
No,
actually.
you
If you
didn't.
want to do that,
I'm going to Cone of Cold her again. She is within 60 feet, yes?
yeah, but so is Reggie.
Oh, shit. Is there any way I can go that's
Back
he's
up.
not within 60
Yeah, if you
feet?
back up 5 feet, it won't hit Reggie.
Okay, I'm going to back up 5 feet then. And I'm going to breathe cold at her again like I'm a fucking dragon.
Okay. DC 17 con.
And I'm going to re-roll all those 1s and 2s again.
So she'll use another legendary resistance to save.
4. Okay, so I'm going to re-roll 4 of those.
So it'll be 24 plus whatever you roll.
Those are D8s.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So what?
Wow.
44.
44,
22.
22.
Okay. She takes 22. Cool. Elizabeth.
Those are those 3 legendary saves?
No, she has 1 left.
Okay.
She is coming back to the keyboard now.
And those are my 5th level spell slots.
Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna step out here.
Get her, Beth. Get her.
Yeah, did you...
Hello?
Sorry, I was cutting out to talk to Jason. 3 normal shots. Let's take this bitch down.
Hits 14. -1. Wait, why are you re-rolling Hunter's Mark when it's already rolling?
I don't know why. I have no idea.
Oh.
That's weird.
30, so that's 23 damage. Last one.
I like that all 3 of these you could have sharpshootered.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
I know.
not even-
Just
I don't
Yeah,
know
so-
if
when,
it only
when you
happens-
don't sharpshooter, you get really high rolls.
Uh-huh.
So,
So take
Hold
out
on.
that 5 Hunter's Mark thing, yeah.
yeah, I never added it in. So what's going to happen here is, I don't think. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out if she can do anything here.
She has any legendary actions?
Well, she does. I'm more concerned about resistances because she won't be able to take an action. Elizabeth, what does it look like when you kill this bitch?
I think it's gonna be like the first shot kind of catches her on the side, like so she flinches and looks at me. Next shot's gonna go right up the nose, so she does one of those like mid sneeze, and then the last one's gonna go right through the back of her neck, like down her throat, out the back of her neck.
Okay. And she begins to flail as sand and dirt is being kicked up. The Yuan-Ti, by the way, are like almost out the door up here, and they all kind of just stop, look back wide-eyed, and just just quickly shuffle themselves down that hallway. And she is flailing and her body is kicking and she's starting to spew blood, and you can see that she's trying to breathe lightning. She's trying to find something as the blood is starting to pool around her mouth. And I think her body just collapses into the ground.
Is there any chance it hits me?
I was right on top of Reggie.
I think it will. I think part of her body's going to land on you.
Would it do damage?
Well, here's what I'll let happen. Valem, you can roll for the Planetar to make let's say, I don't know, a dex save to pull Reggie out of the way before her body crushes him.
Because if I take damage, it will kill me because it'll be an instant 2 death. Or
I don't think that's enough.
okay, so I'm dead.
So her whole mass just slams down onto your body, and you hear the crunching of bones underneath her body as it just settles. Dust kicks up, sand kicks up. You are successful.
I think I'm dead. Is it 2 death saves when you take damage when you're unconscious, or is it just 1?
I believe so.
Pretty sure it's 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, The dragon is dead. The Yuan-Ti have evacuated this chamber. There is a planetar just standing in the middle of the room. Hecaton finally turns around as the frightened condition obviously is cleared from all of you. And I think he rushes over, probably seeing like Reggie's leg. And he's going to try to like pull up the mass of the dragon to get off of your body.
I'm gonna grab him and dimension door him out.
I'm
I
not
think
willing.
that the
I'm
Planetar
unconscious.
is going to intervene first, because the Planetar has innate spell casting and can cast Raise Dead.
How about that?
Oh. I mean, Reggie's still under the dragon. I'm gonna dimension door him out from under the dragon. Because he's not alive, so he can't be an unwilling target.
Oh,
So
I thought you were like going to try to escape with them or something.
no,
She's taking
Out
his
from under
body
the
for unknown
dragon?
purposes.
I'm taking his body.
Robot, hello?
I just don't want him to be raised dead while he's under the fucking dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you can basically you can teleport him out. You can dimension door him out. Then the Planetar can in fact cast Raise Dead.
Yep.
But also, I should have left initiative up. But
It has to be willing. Is Reginald willing?
he can't fight you. I mean, you're violating his consent, but I don't think he'll mind. Alton is also dying.
Yep, I was about to roll again, so
I can
Well,
go
that's
over.
where-
and
I would say
can
that's
put
where I
potion
come in.
him. I got a potion. I can
Well,
give
wait a
potion.
minute.
I mean,
Because
I have a
Elizabeth is right
doctor
there
still.
too. So
Yeah, but
True.
I was the last action that killed the dragon, so I think everybody else should get an action before I have the chance to turn to Alton, unless you're okay
Okay.
with
Yeah.
me casting.
I mean,
then the
already-
Planetar cast Raise Dead, and then somebody else can hopefully. No, my problem is how are you going to give me a? You can't give me a potion right now, Celinda.
Why not?
I mean, as far as
You're
initiative,
huge, and so is your potion. I'm small.
we'll just drown you in it.
yeah, as far as initiative would have been the Planetar and then me. And,
I mean, Elizabeth.
okay. So Valem, like, are you just gonna use like a healing kit on him?
basically, yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Supersized bandages.
So yeah, the
Just
Planetar
mommy
is
him.
cradling Reginald and raising him from the dead.
I need to decide if my soul is willing.
You
You have
are
to
an old
decide that.
man.
I know, and dying going out against a dragon.
That's pretty epic.
But think of our guilt. Think of Beth's guilt.
Think about the future of Ram's Bottom Vineyards.
And that's why I hired a bunch of people. Or I hired Elizabeth's brother.
Roll for it.
But it's your charm that convinces.
I
Buy
think
it.
this.
And now that you're a dragon slayer, that'll just build your reputation.
I think this is Reginald's decision to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to roll for it. I think Reggie just needs to make that decision. Does he allow
Yeah.
himself to walk back toward the light, or
I'll tell you what's kind of surreal is when I played Reggie, I got to read his backstory on that. And this is quite a decision. Yeah. Wow.
It's not a decision.
I don't think he comes back.
Yeah, he could really make a name for himself here. Wow.
I think Reginald always kind of viewed being in this party as making sure that if anyone dies, it would be him. Because they're all still kids, even if Valen's like in his 40s. But
Hmm.
I think he considers this the last good hurrah.
and I think
And feeling the pull, he just, thinks fondly of his friends, but then it's like, they'll be all right. Everything will be all right.
And I think what happens is that a couple things happen in rapid succession. Valem, as you're going to restore Alton, the Planetar kind of appears behind you. You didn't hear him, you didn't see him, he's just there. And he puts his hand on your shoulder, and it feels holy, for lack of a better word. I mean, it fills you with a warm, calming light. And he just looks at you and gives you a stern nod and a gentle smile. then this disembodied voice comes out and says, "You're welcome." And then in a flash, like the Planetar is gone, and it's standing over Reginald. And Reggie, you feel the Planetar's hand on your body, but it's not your body he's touching. He's definitely holding onto your soul.
It's one of those things where I'm standing and I'm looking down at my body.
Yeah, and he's got his hand like on your body shoulder, but you can actually feel it on your like your spirit shoulder. And he looks at you. He says, "Well done." Gives you a nod, and I think all of you just hear like this flapping of wings, and there's Reginald's body, and the Planetar is just gone.
I ask the Planetar as we go away together. I say, "So do you like wine?"
And he just looks at you and smiles, gives you a nod as you guys are like flying off to wherever you're going. Hecatan is just looking around furious. He's still just angry. He kind of like leans over Reginald's body, puts his hand like on Reginald's shoulder. The greatest sacrifice. And he just like bows his head and he says nothing. Like he's obviously in mourning over Reginald. The Yonti are gone. The dragon is dead.
I think Celinda sees Reginald dead, and she just turns to Valem and just starts sobbing.
Yeah, that seems like an appropriate response. Is everyone okay if we take our break here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's take our break. We'll meet back in about 10 minutes, so let's say 5:30. Cool.
All right.
Take a moment. So, yeah, we're alive again, and you guys are standing over the corpse of a dragon and one of your friends. And Alton, you are alive, barely.
Did we win?
We did
In a way.
indeed.
Why is everyone so quiet?
I come over to the other side of Reggie. I just start saying prayers. I take out a vial of my holy water. I start to anoint maybe some cloths, things like that I have in my healer's kit, and start to wrap his. Does he change it like to normal size again when he dies? So I don't have to pull out like bed sheets or anything like that.
Sorry, I'm
Hello?
eating a cookie, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just some cloths. Just start to wrap his body in it, just so we can move him in a more civilized way.
Sorry. I should point out, too, in this room, with all the light, that now in the west side of the room, here you can see that enough of the sand has shifted that there does appear to be a room to your west, to your left, as well as that hallway to your right. Yeah. What is everybody else doing while Balaam is wrapping up Reggie?
While Valem's working, if he's not saying prayer, Beth would ask what the Planetar did in those final moments. Like what he tried to do something. She noticed that he tried to do something with Reggie, and seemingly nothing happened.
Lathander gave Reginald the opportunity to return to the living, and he chose.
He chose not to come back.
Reginald had to choose that.
Quiet for a moment, and just nods.
Sometimes a man accomplishes enough in his life that he reaches a point of satisfaction where nothing more can be gained. And I think he's reached his final chapter, and he knew that.
All right.
He'll always live on with us, and we can tell his tale.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Selenda, what are you doing?
Celinda's probably kneeling beside Reginald with her hands on him, like arm, just, quietly crying.
Okay. Alton?
Took a couple minutes to get my bearings, considering, but I'm just kind of staring sadly, and then promptly ignore it and start going wandering.
Okay.
Because I'm not dealing with this again.
Yeah. And Hecadin sort of like walks away to leave you to your privacy. And yeah, I think Hecadin sort of approaches this statue in the room. This snake statue. And I think you're all kind of like quietly mourning your friend, and Hecaton has approached in such a fashion to this statue, and he begins basically like pounding on it, punching it and kicking it, and trying to like pull the thing apart. It's pretty clear he's trying to like tilt the thing into the hole. Just in his rage, he's clearly like celebrating, but also there's a rage to him over Reggie's death, and you know, the battle above you has stopped. You don't hear the trebuchets or any fighting going on up there. So yeah, what's next? Do you guys just take your friend out and head home? Like, what do you do?
We definitely need to take his son.
But not as we are. We need to let the effects of this potion wear off.
True.
King Hecaton had offered us his hospitality, and perhaps we should take advantage of that.
Okay. Are you... What does that mean? Are you going to take the conch back to Maelstrom?
I would assume, if that's what everybody wants to do.
The
I'm
airship is still
gonna-
here.
It is. We can send it back to Waterdeep or something, though. Want to send it to Waterdeep? Escape.
Well,
Why don't we send it to Baldur's Gate? Because if we're going to return Reggie, that's probably where we're going to request to go after Maelstrom. Would be
there's
to return to Baldur's Gate.
Well, there's another problem. We've corrected the ordning. We've done what this Clouth wanted. Maybe we should check to make sure that now that the deed is done, that the airship isn't just gonna wander off with Kendrick and the others.
Well, I want to get Oberon anyways, so.
Well, either way, maybe we send Kendrick back to Baldur's Gate. They don't know what's happened here, so that way, if they do take the airship back, Kendrick will still be in Baldur's Gate. We can meet him there.
Is Reginald still giant?
No.
No.
If I pick his sword up, does it become giant in my hand?
Not until it attunes, I would assume.
Does anybody have a long sword or a great sword or any fucking kind of sword?
I can't use stuff like that.
Nope.
Simple weapons only.
I want this dragon's head.
You have 25 strength. Just rip it
Yeah.
off.
I do. I'm gonna try and rip Emra's head right off her body.
Okay, give me a strength athletics check.
Can I use my last point of luck to give her advantage?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you're out of luck. Okay. Yeah, that it takes you just a couple minutes to rip this Inu free, to break some of the scales enough to really get a grip on the head. But yeah, you were able to rip and tear her head clean off, and it makes it sound like a dog barking.
Stupid dog.
So what do you guys do?
I'm gonna probably send the dragon head home with the cultists if they are still willing to take Kendrick. We're gonna probably go up, to the ship.
Slinda, is it smart to send a dragon head with a cult of dragons?
Actually, you're right.
They remember they did. They were mad about
You're
seeing.
dead.
This is Conrad talking. They were mad about seeing Imrith in the north. in Klaus
yes,
land.
in Klaus land, but now they're in her land.
Yeah,
And if
well,
we reveal ourselves as dragon slayers,
But I think we were saying if they know that our mission is over, also they might take the airship.
yeah. So
That's what I was saying. Maybe we.
well, we should go check on them, see what's up.
I'm going to explore this place because I am not dealing with Reginald's death, so therefore I cannot be near it.
She'll leave the dragon head beside Reginald's body.
Okay.
I stay with Reginald.
I believe my
I
sending
continue
stone
to
was actually
preserve his
sorry.
body for movement.
I believe my sending stone was the one that was left with Kendrick. Yes, maybe.
Okay.
So I'll just reach out through this sending stone and just essentially say, if everything's okay up there, let us know, and head back to Baldur's Gate. We'll meet you there.
And
If you have any trouble, kill them all.
And Kendrick, just you hear a sigh as a response. Just says, "All right. Probably see you before then, but best of luck getting home. All right, boys."
We should.
And you can picture Kendrick like waving his finger around like everybody. Let's get the ship moving.
I like the idea that the All Right Boys comes across in the sending because he still doesn't know how it works.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he just keeps it. We hear it until like it's at the max.
Yeah.
Let's get some treasure and get the fuck out of here.
Okay. So where are you gonna go for treasure? Hecaton is nearly destroyed the statue, by the way. Like it's getting perilously close to just like being tipped over into that hole. Alton, you're probably the only one who sees it. Excuse me. The statue.
Okay.
I think you're cutting out.
Yeah.
No, excuse me. I don't think I was so stop talking. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Oh, yeah, Alton. The snake statue appears to have obsidian gemstones for its eyes. They look pretty valuable. Hecaton clearly doesn't care.
Yep.
In case you want to try to stop him, that's up to you.
No, let the big guy rage because I don't like watching crew members die.
Selenda, you begin to walk into that room that the sand has kind of been pushed apart, and you can see it. It appears to be some kind of storeroom. There is a prodigious pile of gold coins in the center of the room. This here. It's massive. It's like overflowing. Thousands upon thousands of gold pieces.
There's a pile of gold in here, guys.
Do I see anything down the hole?
It's about 20 feet around. It's so deep that you can't even begin to see toward the bottom. On the sides of it, to the edge of your vision, which again in this hole is not very far, you see at points like what could very clearly be like bloodstains on the side of the hole, on the inside of it. But yeah, it's too far. It's just blackness after a point. You can't see to the bottom of it.
Does anybody want to come in here and help me with this pile of gold?
I don't know about everybody else, Celinda, but it's a cold comfort at best.
Yes, but perhaps his family could use. Probably not. Think of it.
I'll come help.
Beth's gonna tie her Lathander necklace to her rope, her 50 feet of rope, and just lower it down the hole slowly, see if she can see anything at all.
Okay, it's 50 feet.
50 feet of rope, yeah. Just to see if I can see anything reflective, anything in the darkness.
Nothing. Just more bloodstains on the way down.
I could fly down, but I kind of don't want to. I'm gonna
No.
pick Alden up. Put him on my shoulder.
No, it's okay. Just make
Really
sure
don't.
nothing else is around.
Alton, give me an Arcana check if you're near that hole.
Yeah, I was probably walking past it.
I just picked you up, and put you on my shoulder.
Ugh.
Alton, you get a very sick feeling being near that hole. It feels primal in a way that maybe you're connected to, but this is not your patron. This is something else, powerful and evil.
Beth?
Hmm?
That hole gives a worse feeling than my boss. You might want to back up.
I
In
will
fact,
pull up the
Alton,
rope.
looking at the statue that Hecaton has nearly ripped down, looks like a snake. Maybe that connects some dots for you. I don't know.
I will pull up the rope and the necklace and take a step back per recommendation.
It's not Conan, so no.
As a player, I think I'd have a few ideas. Alton, I don't think would ever come up against something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was spoken abyssal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's either a demon or it's a devil.
There are other things it could be.
I know, but I mean,
That being said, I'm going to blast the base of it with Eldritch Blast so that King Hecaton can rip it all the way down.
Okay. Yeah, you cast the spell, and Hecaton's got his massive biceps just wrapping around the thing, trying to pull it down, and you break out the base of it, and he just rips it clear of the floor, and the statue just begins to, like, tumble down the hole. And as you're standing close enough, you can hear it maybe, like, scraping against the walls, but it doesn't stop. It just keeps falling. It falls completely into darkness and just disappears.
Shit.
I think we're collapsing this place when we're done.
yeah. Kind of wish we hadn't let those Yuan-Ti go.
If they
Let's,
want to get it back so bad, they can unbury it. Let's just get the stuff and get out of here.
Let's get our boon and go.
Okay. Since Celenda was the first one in that room to the left, I think. Celenda, why don't you make me an Arcana check?
Okay.
Elizabeth, you could make me, I think, Perception.
Oh,
Jesus.
wow. Yeah, I haven't been rolling good on checks today.
So as you're approaching Elizabeth, it's not Celenda that sees it. You notice a couple things that kind of strike you in this room. One, you see this giant pile of gold in the center of the room. That much is pretty hard to miss. But as you approach in the room, it almost appears for a moment as though the gold is starting to shift and move. Like it's starting to swirl. It's only for a second. You kind of have to second guess yourself. You're not sure if you actually saw it. But you did.
Celinda?
And then
What?
the thing that draws your attention is no one else would notice this. I mean, it's really minute, well hidden. But it looks like the floor of this room, because it's all sand effectively, it looks like it's been shifted in a way that seems kind of unnatural, like in several different places.
Like digging?
Like covering. Don't step off this dais, I'm gonna say, this platform here. Can I
mean,
do like a nature check or survival check to kind of see if I can discern, is it like a sweeping pattern, like somebody was covering something up, or is it like a movement from underneath, ground shifting?
Okay. I don't know that it's survival necessarily.
Nature then?
I guess I would let you roll nature. It's a stretch, but I don't mind.
I can just do a straight check too.
Well, I'm thinking. We'll say nature. That's fine. We can work with that. I mean, you don't know of anything that, like... I mean, you know of maybe a dozen creatures that burrow. But also, what occurs to you is that... I mean, this is a large pile of gold, but dragons tend to be greedy fucks. Like, all of them.
Yeah.
Can I try something a little bit out of, like, the zone of what this spell normally does?
Well, remember that you haven't seen this, right? This is... I don't know what you're trying to do.
Is Elizabeth telling us this, though?
I just told you to stop and to not step off this kind of platform we're on. I'm gonna pull out my bow again, and I'm gonna let loose a lightning arrow focused like here, so that the lightning bolt like effect will go emanate out towards the gold.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sure. Roll that. You don't have to roll the hit, but roll the damage, I guess. Okay. Okay. So what happens is you see the arrow hit the ground, the lightning strikes out in the direction of the gold, and there is an explosion of movement as what appear to be four air elementals just sort of swirl up into existence around the gold, and they are all basically filled with the gold as it's swirling inside their elemental bodies, and the lightning strikes them, and it's just this massive swirling explosion of gold and wind basically in front of you. It doesn't seem as effective as you've seen your lightning arrows do before.
Oh, that's fine. It was just a revealing tactic.
Mm-hmm. And they're just standing there, basically floating. Hey, I'll give you an opportunity here, but they're going to try to come after you.
Can I talk to them in Draconic?
You can talk
And they
to
work for a dragon, so I'm assuming they speak Draconic.
Banish 2 of them.
Oh, right, you're on my shoulder.
Yes, I am.
Okay, do they have to make a roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, charisma saving throw.
What's the DC?
Versus DC, I want to say 16, 17.
Okay, 2 of them just vanish. Just disappear.
Yep, they've gone back to the elemental plane of air.
And the gold that was inside them suddenly just like drops into that massive pile.
Beth, after the banishment, will just. Your master is dead. Relinquish her boon and be gone, or suffer the fate of your friends. And again, it's that very like I am so over this. I'm tired. I am pissed.
What language are you saying it in?
A common.
I'll repeat that in Draconic.
And
Because I'm assuming they know Draconic if they work for a dragon.
and they don't respond at all to either language.
So I'll like over my shoulder, boy.
I'm gonna go back out and get Imra's head and throw it towards them. Dead.
And I'm gonna get ready to shoot another arrow.
I'm thinking.
I'm guessing they're not on the map anywhere, so I don't.
They're not.
No.
Not
Okay.
yet. Celinda, give me I guess an intimidation check with advantage.
Okay. I'm actually good at this.
Every time you say that, you roll like a 1. Stop saying that.
That
I'm
actually
actually
works.
Okay,
good at this.
Yeah, so those other 2 arrow elementals just there's like a pause and you start to see the wind like slow down and a number of the gold coins just get strewn about the room. And they just sort of vanish up through the room and disappear.
I'll take another quick look to make sure there's no other nasties waiting, if I can tell.
Okay, you want to make another perception check?
Just in case, now that I kind of know what I'm looking for.
Wow, that's like 225s for you for perception.
Again, I'm fine on skill checks. It's the freaking sharpshooter that shot me in the foot. Unintended.
Yeah, there's no other that you can see. There's no other enemies in the room. There's nothing else that you think is going to jump out at you. But again, the floor of this room seems to something about it is drawing your attention.
Before you step off, Celinda, check the floor. I don't see anything, but it's weird.
Okay. I guess I'll try something. I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave with the intention of moving the sand. Because
Okay.
it pushes stuff back 15 feet, I believe.
Okay, and you bark all the meanwhile.
My dog, he's a fucking idiot.
Can you just roll that for me? Put it in chat.
Yeah, I am trying to roll that, but apparently it's not working. My roll 20 seems to be. Yeah, I've rolled it twice, so it'll come up twice in a minute. Almost I got disconnected.
Hold on, I'm gonna just pull it up here.
But yeah, I don't know why.
Okay, that's
Close and
all right.
reopen your character sheet.
Maybe.
Or just shut your dog up. It doesn't want to roll because your dog's yapping.
That's true.
I'd like to go fucking shoot him in the head, but that's not an
Jeez.
option.
It's harsh.
Unsecured objects that are completely within the area of effect are automatically pushed 10 feet away. Okay, so which way are you which way are you casting Thunderwave?
Like, wherever Beth pointed out that the floor is messed up.
Like towards same place I shot my arrow, like
I'll
towards the gold.
Yeah,
Between us and gold.
Maybe not disturbing the gold because up in the sand.
Well, that's kind of the idea. I think the trick is hidden in the gold.
Is it?
Well, it's the sand all over the room. It's not just where the gold is.
I mean,
Where are you casting the
it's
spell?
10 feet around me, so about here. I'm just gonna try and push the sand back.
Okay. All right.
See if there's something hidden under it.
Let's see, 10 feet. Whoops, that is not the right thing. Oh, what the heck?
This is gonna be really loud. Cover your ears.
Okay. Yeah. So this massive spell goes off and booms throughout the entire room, and right about like a little bit up in this direction, just at like the edge, because the sand is pretty heavy and you don't move as much of it as you would expect, but you see like something that appears to be kind of buried. Just the corner of something. You can't really tell what it is. But it's buried under the sand. Maybe like almost a foot, a couple feet. I don't know.
Looks like there's something buried here, guys. Looks like she wanted to hide something.
King Hecaton doing while we're making all this noise and uproar?
I think at this point, now the statue's been destroyed, I kind of think he's going to make his way out. He's going to try to go up unless one of you wants to stop him.
Alright, if he's not going to come help with the investigation, then no, let him go.
No, he doesn't care about the gold, clearly. It's not a concern of his. So yeah, you see the corner of this thing. You can't really make out what it is.
I said we prod at it. Why not?
Slater, go see what that is.
I haven't summoned Slater. He's still up on the boat. I let him go, more or less.
I'll prod at it. Like, where is it? Is it right where we're standing?
It's kind of just the edge of it's kind of up there a little bit, like a little northwest of where Celenda is.
Yeah, I'll just kind of like kick around with my giant boot. See if I can clear some of it.
It's pretty solid, whatever it is. You could give me, I guess, an intelligence check to see if you can like identify what it is. Good enough. Kind of looks like a real fancy coffin.
Okay, so I let everyone know looks like it's a coffin.
What?
Yeah,
That's...
I don't feel comfortable disturbing it.
No.
Someone that doesn't care is gonna go kick it open.
Okay, you're going to open it?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys take a few minutes to clear it. Celenda, roll for me a d6.
Blah.
D6.
I am nowhere near this thing, for the record. Like, I'm staying right where I'm at.
Okay.
A mummy lord pops out.
Roll for me a d100.
Ooh. $61.
Roll again.
A D100?
Yeah.
Okay.
God, you suck at this.
Yeah, I do. Somebody else can roll if they want.
Hold on. I'm just gonna flip a page here. Give me a second.
He's just gonna fudge it.
Yep, because you suck at rolling. You find a real fancy looking staff.
Ooh, please be a staff of the Magi.
And it is laying. I should point out. I'm sorry. It is standing on the. It is laying on top of a bed of 900 platinum pieces.
Whoa! A fancy staff. Okay. That's
Are
a
we good to go
lot
yet?
Yeah, I mean, there might be more, but
let's just take what we can carry and bring Reggie home,
Yes.
don't you think?
Yeah.
There's always time later to clear this place out, assuming someone else doesn't first.
Yeah.
So, safe to assume that. I mean, you can also take the gold that is laying there from the air elementals if you'd like.
Whatever
Well-
will fit in the pockets in the bag of holding, I guess.
Well, there's
We'll just scoop it, sand and all, into the fucking bag of holding and worry about it later.
okay. There is, like I said, there's the 900 platinum you got out of that fancy coffin, otherwise known as a sarcophagus, and the pile of gold is amounts to approximately 10,000.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a lot of wow.
All right. Are you guys gonna head out with Reggie's body?
We should use this money to do some memory of Reginald.
I agree.
Build a giant-sized vineyard so I can sell
I was-
wine to the giants.
I was thinking more opening a school for the poor. But okay.
A school for the
This
what?
is a
For the
school
poor.
for kids.
Poor. School for the poor.
Maybe
you
a
know?
sommelier school, perhaps.
You mean a school for your cult?
Well, they are stupid and need fucking education. That's why they're cultists.
Anyway. I'm assuming we're going back to the Maelstrom until the potion wears off? Well, no, because the airship can't carry us as we are, can it?
No. I don't think you can carry one of us, much less all of us.
I thought we were going to teleport back with Hecaton.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. So
Just gonna wait it out there with, since we're all giants.
I can actually. I'm not a giant, but I'll blow the conch and take us back to the maelstrom.
Okay. So you guys are all headed back to the Maelstrom with
Yep.
Hecaton and his storm giant allies. I will just put you on the level 2 here. Can we, unless there's something specific, can we like allide a little bit of time here?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a couple days pass. Your potions wear off. You guys rest. There is a minor celebration. Some of the other giants are there. The storm giants, of course, Sarissa and Uther and Hecaton. You guys are welcome to stay as long as you need. You are fed and clothed and bathed, and Hecaton sort of approaches all of you together at some point. Probably in his throne room, but he doesn't like how fancy it is. He tells you that he was wrong in misjudging the small folk, that his beloved wife told him that giants and small folks could learn to coexist peacefully and help one another. The world might even be a better place, who knows? He vows to you to honor all of you, specifically Reggie and his wife, by allying himself with the small folks against other draconic threats in the future. He comes to believe that this test was granted to him by Onum, the ordning all of it, right? That he believes that he was tested in this way so that he would learn that he needs to trust you. He needs to trust small folk, and the world's going to face worse threats in the future. He's going to need all the help he can. There's time spent in prayer and solitude for Hecaton and Sarissa. They do take their time in the Stormhold to visit the grave of Neri, Hecaton's wife, Sarissa's mother. And it's kind of a quiet wind down over a few days. Is there anything you guys want to do in that time?
I think Celinda is eager to get home with Reginald.
Yeah, and do we hear anything about the sister by chance? The missing sister?
Uther has some of his trusted storm giants out looking for her, but she is not yet found. Hecaton doesn't seem overly concerned. He knows his daughter well enough to know that, this doesn't surprise him, her behavior, and he will get her back under his boot when the time comes.
If we're spending time down here, I'm going to cast Gentle Repose on Reggie so he doesn't start to rot and decay.
Okay.
Do any of the giants, are any of them able to... Actually, I'm just going to attune to the staff.
Okay.
There's still scrolls of Identify.
Oh, right, we do. I'm going to
Yeah.
fucking identify it.
As it happens, it is in fact a Staff of the Magi.
Is it really? Holy shit. I can plane shift with this. That's like the best fucking staff in the entire game. Of course I get it now.
But now you can say you have it.
Yes, I can. Thank you, Sean.
Mm-hmm. Because you can't roll for shit.
God damn it, I almost spit my water at my laptop.
The school for kids who can't read good. I want to do other stuff good too. I like it. It's a very Reginald school.
I was thinking just the Rams Bottom Academy, but I mean...
A private school for boys. Anyway, so you guys take a couple days. You're, welcomed as basically family. That is not what I wanted to do. In the hold of the storm giants, and you watch over Reggie's body. And after a couple days, whenever you're ready, they will teleport you to, wherever you'd like to go. Be it Baldur's Gate or Waterdeep or Daggerford. They'll separate you separately or together, however you wish.
Actually, Beth will go to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
She promised she'd bring Celinda home.
All right. So
And I at least want to show up for Reggie's funeral.
So I think the most appropriate way to do this is, why don't we? This is what I was planning on. I didn't give you guys a lot of heads up here, but why don't we do like little vignettes? Your kind of epilogues, as it were, or prologue. What's the word? Which one?
Epilogue.
Epilogue. After. For each character. So, who wants to go first?
I did have a heads up, so I'm kind of prepared.
Okay, if you want to go ahead, I'm all about it. Go for it.
So, Beth goes to Baldur's Gate and goes, brings Celinda home, sees her family as promised, goes to see Reginald's family, his son, and deals with that whole thing. She takes care of all of that before anything personal. She'll go see Asher and have a small reunion, I guess, with him. Write home, says she's safe. The giant things is done. She's going to take care of a few things in Baldur's Gate. She thinks she might stay in the city, become a guard, things like that. And that she'd visit home soon with Asher, as promised. However, before that happens, she and Asher run into trouble. Not like, domestic dispute kind of stuff, but their views are just too different. She can't be the fancy woman. She can't deal with the nobles. She just doesn't have any patience for it. And it comes down to what I think would be knowing what I do with the character, that they have a long conversation and say, it was fun while it lasted, but it's just not going to work out. You want different things. I want different things. I can't stand the fucking city. So she leaves. And, I'd like to think they're friendly. I don't think friends would really work. They're just two different worlds. And she really has very little reason to return to the city other than when Celinda calls and say something has changed in my life, because I assume that they stay good friends. Really good friends. she would head home, see everybody there, and say, I'm going back out. And she's going to continue to look for Hunter, because that she still believes he's alive, and she really liked the adventure. She liked the adrenaline. She liked meeting new people, making new friends, and she's not suited for a home life, for a settled down kind of thing. And she fully intends to spend next 15, 20, 30 years of her life adventuring and possibly going out by killing a dragon, or trying to.
Okay. And I think.
However,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
However, in all this, she does go back to the Emerald Conclave,
Mm-hmm.
And does work with them and for them specifically while looking for Hunter. She becomes a very strong ally with them and a very faithful follower of Lathander.
Fascinating. Okay. I think we have that scene with Elizabeth where it's been a couple years. Elizabeth is a few years older, wiser, stronger. And we kind of have this weird cut where we see Elizabeth standing outside of, some noble district in Baldur's Gate, like walking away from the silhouette of Asher, and Asher just beside himself with grief and loss, like he doesn't really understand why you can't be together and what it is you want. And we see Elizabeth kind of spin around to walk out of the city, but instead what we see is that, again, she's aged a bit. We can see that she spins around and she's in another city. This one is not Baldur's Gate, and I think she finds herself standing outside of a very specific inn that is cropped up. It's become kind of notorious in Waterdeep, and she's been tracking rumors of her brother Hunter for some time, and most recently they've led you here. And we see some young adventurers who clearly have little to no experience under their belts, excitedly going into this tavern, as people do every night, standing there with her back to the camera, and the camera kind of pans up and we see the sign of the inn that says the Yawning Portal. And then we cut back to whoever's epilogue is next.
Does anybody want to go? I actually.
Well,
I've got something, even though I'm dead.
I could.
Yes.
So, well, I mean, a few weeks after Reginald's funeral, a bunch of letters are sent out to various people from some guild of lawyers or something, with things pertaining to Reginald's will. And so everybody gets like 5% stake in Ramsbottom Wine, or the vineyards. So in case you ever need something to fall back on, you'll always have a little bit of something. And maybe that'll encourage all of you to help promote Ramsbottom Wines wherever you go. And then I also give, there are two letters that are delivered to my son. One from me that tells him that I'm not his father, and then one from his mother that I never read that maybe tells him who his father is.
Secretly Valem.
Okay, so I'm gonna add on to that. Beth does become a social drinker, like casually, but she will only drink Ramsbottom products.
Aww.
Sentimental.
I think your brother actually gets 10% too, because I want him to keep working for me.
Good motivation to keep the books right and growing.
Well, Valem heads to Baldur's Gate. He 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 offers to perform the service if they allow it. Upon finalizing that, he returns to Waterdeep. He bequeaths his percentage of the Ram's Bottom to his family's inn. He gives that to his father, along with a very healthy, generous amount of his share of the treasure. He heartbreakingly explains to his family that his job is not finished, that Lathander is not done with him, but he's going to be working hand in hand with the church, perhaps going on a pilgrimage throughout the Sword Coast, traveling from city to city, meeting with the priests that he's met along his travels. In light of his awakening, this intervention that Lathander has directly given to him, it's just was never overly religious, but it's really turned him around. He heads to the Spires of the Morning and offers his services to the temple, and again requests that he continues his journeys throughout the Sword Coast to spread the word and faith of Lathander.
Okay. And he's always probably just watching over his sisters and his family, I assume. Just kind of like always keeping an eye on them.
Exactly. Obviously, he's based out of Waterdeep now. He's working specifically for the Spires. So as he travels, he returns back to Waterdeep and pokes in from time to time. Again, never stays long. It's the pilgrimage is his life now.
And I think we have that scene where like every time Valem comes home, your family's excited to see you, and we probably have that like cute dinner scene where the inn is kind of emptied out, and your mother cooks specifically for the family. And I'm blanking on his name, but she always invites. What's his name?
Delvarian.
Delvarian, yes, thank you. She always invites Delvarian over, and you guys always have like a nice, happy reunion. And every time you come home, without fail, your mother has found some new local woman who's single or looking for something, and every single time. And in fact, she's starting to do the same thing to Delvarian. Like she's starting to try to like hook him up and make me make me. What the fuck was that? Make Delvarian.
You want Valem's mom to make you dinner?
Yeah, she's trying to set up Delvarian too, and of course, he's not really having it, but and that's every time, and then you invariably leave, and she's just crushed again. But she bides her time, by taking care of her daughters, and of course, still looking for some young unoccupied lady for you for whenever you decide to like actually settle down. And I think at some point we probably have that scene where, in all your pilgrimage, your travels, you do end up on a ship, heading somewhere far, far away from Faerun. Lathander's call is deep, and you're being summoned to some strange island, some tropical, almost hellscape. There's some weird thing going on. Something about people dying and strange creatures in the wilderness. We see Valem like exit the ship, with some young steward, because now you're ranking in the Spires, and they send you someone like that. You get off the boat, and we see this marvelous city just on the coast of Chult. And that's where we fade to black on Valem.
Nice.
Alton?
Alton does stick around for the funeral, but he is, considering he's usually a very upbeat guy, he's very quiet for a lot of it. He does not like seeing crew members die, and that's what he kind of considered everybody. But after that's said and done, he takes the second set of sending stones with him and waits in the port of Baldur's Gate for the Desert Wind to make dock, and finally delivers those to the captain. Admittedly, very delayed, but as promised.
Mhm.
Sails with her for a couple of years, most likely, before finally, between his own earnings and what Reginald gifted him, buying his own ship, calling it the Ramsbottom, and starting to hunt down pirates up and down the Sword Coast and send them down to meet somebody he's very familiar with.
Mm. Yeah, I think, and I even think that, like, if you would let her, Varsha would, Ashala would, she would start a fleet basically with you. Like, you would be her second. She would become a commander, and you would be one of her captains, and she would start a fleet, and she would help you. And I think for a number of years you would fly her flag, but she would let you kind of do your own thing.
Absolutely. She can have the no magic ship. I'm taking the mages with me.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And yeah, and that's how you spend your time. I like it. It's dark. I think the only one left is Celinda.
Yep. So Celinda goes back to Baldur's Gate and she continues her study of magic. She gets reacquainted with her parents after being gone for so long. And if Alistair is still interested, she takes back up with him. She doesn't leave Baldur's Gate often anymore, except for setting up her own network of teleportation circles. She offers use to them eventually to the Harpers, but primarily it's used for the teleportations of goods and personal business. Once the first teleportation circle is set up in either Neverwinter or Waterdeep, she opens a trading company. And she starts using her teleportation circles to move goods quickly and efficiently throughout the Sword Coast over, like, maybe the next 10 years, she says. With the magic on her side, her company expands pretty quickly, and she starts using the profit to set up charities in the lower city to help out the poor. The first of which is a school that she starts for Reginald. She calls it the Reginald Academy, or the Ramsbottom Academy, and she helps educate the poor. And then she starts, like, soup kitchens and shelters and things like that in the lower city to help improve the quality of life. She does a lot to try and squash this cult that has sprung up around her, but unfortunately, all of this just kind of makes it spread like wildfire. And eventually she just gives up and hopes that maybe if she doesn't think about it, it'll go away. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And she's absolutely mortified when the first cleric or paladin of Celinda appears. And she starts freaking out because this sparks a war between Lathander clerics and her own. And she kind of, like, just retreats from the lower city. And if Alistair and her are still together after about 2 years, she'll propose to him if he hasn't already done so. I guess it's up to you whether he accepts.
I think, in fact, he probably you ask a number of times and he just keeps rejecting your proposals.
Then she just
to play hard to get.
Well, if he's going to keep rejecting her, she's just going to break up with him.
Like, and the second that you do that, like the second that you keep trying and he just rejects it, like that's the moment that he caves, and he's purchased, like, the most beautiful ring that he can find, and he just smiles at you in that, like, shit-eating grin that he always smiles.
He's such a jerk.
He just says to you, I just wanted to see how long he'd go.
You're such a jerk.
And
That's
yeah,
what I love you.
and yeah, the two of you finally get married and settle down, quote unquote.
Oh, he's
Uh,
such a jerk. He becomes Lord Icewing, or does he keep his last name?
I think he would do both. Like around certain people, he would be Lord Icewing, but you can't really get rid of that,
Yeah.
The scoundrel.
Yeah,
In the upper city, they know him as Lord Icewing. In the lower city, they know him as
hmm
probably just the eel.
and yeah, and yeah, we cut back to the funeral, to Reginald's funeral, and everyone is there. The whole party. Kayvon is there. Randall, Reginald's son, and his wife are there. You know, everyone is in Baldur's Gate and in the cemetery, and the Ramsbottom crypt that is of course there, and it's a pretty gray day. It's just like a fine mist of rain coming down over the city, and everyone's wearing maybe not their best, but some nice clothes as the mist sort of just blows over the city. And you're all there just watching the, Valem is giving his prayers and speaking over the body, and there's a lot of embracing and tears. I don't think Randall has read the letter yet. That probably arrives sometime later.
Yeah, it's well after the funeral.
Yeah, and you guys are all finishing up. Valem is finishing his prayers, and it's just this gray day. And as you're all standing there, we have all these other flashes to the future of where you're going to end up. And a couple young men arrive with like a cart, like a small cart on wheels, and they begin setting something up. And Valem finishes up, and the funeral is done, and you're all standing there watching these two men with this cart, and they sort of unfurl a banner on the outside of it, and in big bold red letters it says Ramsbottom Wines and Brandies. And they pull out a number of glasses, and they start pouring glasses, and Kayvon reaches for the glass first, and he just kind of quietly says to everybody, I figured this is how he would want to celebrate. And everyone takes a glass and cheers and raises it to your lips. You all take that sip of that beautiful, smooth brandy. And just then, the clouds begin to part very, very gently in the sky, and we see a couple individual rays of sun kind of come down. One of them, of course, kind of almost makes it look like Valem's armor is glowing a bit. You all kind of feel this warmth coming down. And strangely, like there's this other small bead that kind of seems to be like approaching Elizabeth, kind of scanning her almost. And you guys all finish up your brandy, and they take the glasses back. This is the last time we're going to see the group together. And I think
At least as a group, yeah.
And I think,
Celinda will be able to teleport all over the Sword Coast. So.
Yeah, but I mean, all together in the same place. I feel like this is the last time, and I think this is where we have that gray scene with the sunlight coming down, and we kind of fade to black.
I mean, there was one more thing that I wanted to do.
Oh, of course, you can't wait. You can't do it before.
It's the post-credit scene.
I told you that there was something I wanted to do, and you didn't let me get to it.
Well, first of all, you can do it now, but there's still a post-credit scene, so you go ahead and do your thing.
So Celinda is going to talk to Alistair about a wish that she plans to make. You know what the wish is.
I do.
How does he feel about it if she can never come back from it?
I mean, he recognizes that Celinda is an independent woman and always has been and always will be, and she's going to do whatever she wants. I mean...
Yes, but, I mean, there's also the possibility that he could be married to a dragon.
He's going to miss that pussy, though.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't up to Alistair. This is your decision to make, fictionally
I
and
know, but
mechanically.
she wants to know. She wants to know his opinion, what he thinks about, how he feels about it, because it will affect how she feels about it as well.
I mean, look, he has always loved her, and he always will, but she has to live her life the way she wants. Like, he's not going to hold her back from doing something that she desires that much.
All right, she's gonna do it.
I mean, he will ask for the good kinky sex before
Well, yeah,
you do it, but just to get it out of the way, just in case.
Mechanical question.
Mhm.
Dragons can technically take a human form, though.
Right, but
Yeah.
Gwen and I talked about this beforehand. That is true, but because Wish is such a powerful spell, things can go wrong.
it's also a white dragon she'll be turning into, which don't get shape changed. That's the only this is the only way she can get white dragon form that has shape change.
And there's another consideration there that I didn't warn you about, but I'm not going to. So,
She's if she can't be a white dragon, she's not going to do it.
I told you there were risks. I told you this beforehand.
Yes, I know, but there's a specific color that she wants to be.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that can be part of
Otherwise,
your wish.
she's just going to. She definitely wants to be a white with shape change abilities. Otherwise, she'll just use polymorph if she thinks it's too dangerous.
You have to decide this. I told you that there were risks. I'm not going to tell you what they are. This is a dangerous and it's a weighty thing to do. You have to decide if you're willing to do it or not. The greater the wish, the greater likelihood that something goes wrong.
YOLO, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
She's going to wish to be a white dragon with shape change.
Okay. I'm going to have you roll a D100.
All right.
Actually, no. You know what? It's D&D. Roll a D20.
That's G. Do I get any modifiers?
Nope. It's just a flat roll. Okay. So your wish your wish is granted.
But she can only shape change into a man.
That's okay. I have alter self.
And Valem kills her.
So ooh, I could be real cruel about this. I'm thinking. So yeah, your wish is successful. I need you to roll a D100 for me.
Okay.
Okay. So you will be able to cast wish again.
Okay.
However, there is of course a ramification of your spell. And in this case, the ramification is you are able to shape change and you are a white dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You will part of it here is you will age and die like a dragon, which means you're going to watch all of your friends and loved ones die.
Yeah, she knew that going into this.
Also, you have very mildly evil tendencies.
Yeah, that's not surprising either.
That's
Yeah.
not any different than what she
She's
was.
a
Yeah.
white dragon.
But like, for example, you might just kill some of your friends or Alistair, for example. Like that might happen.
Or burn down the school you just built.
Or that. Or destroy the cult that came up,
I mean,
Or like
I wouldn't.
breed-
She
like-
Or encourage it.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's what it is. She encourages it,
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually embrace the war
and
against
she
the
starts
Thander.
hoarding. She starts hoarding magic items,
Okay. Yeah.
and she starts like going around the Sword Coast, collecting dragon eggs and hatching them, and she just has this like litter of dragon children that she is fostering, and
Yeah, so that's how Selenda spends her days.
she is a white dragon that basically fucking rules Baldur's Gate now. because they're probably all terrified of this fucking white dragon that lives in the city.
You're just the worst, just so you know. Like, you're the worst. Anyway, so
You think that right up until they slay you.
So we, I mean, you're gonna give birth to a new generation of adventurers who are gonna slay you. So
He's gonna have some half dragon babies with Alistair.
So nope, that's not gonna happen. He can't. That doesn't work. Yeah, you can never have children. That's the real ramification. You can't have human children. You can't have children with Alistair because he can't impregnate you. So
That's fine. We'll adopt.
We cut back to the funeral. We fade to black. The credits start to roll. And then we get those interspersed post-credit scenes. We have one scene after another. And we see a few things. We cut to Daggerford. And we cut to the inn, the Halfling's Inn, which the name of which I can't recall. I think it was the Smiling something.
The Happy Cow.
The
or
Happy
something?
Cow. Yes, that's what it is. So we cut into the Happy Cow. Things in Daggerford have calmed down. They've made a yearly festival out of that plague of rats thing that happened. They call it the Rat Day Festival. It happens every year now, and they like dress up little puppets like rats. They have little games where children like chase things through the streets and everything, and it's a fun day. And we see this festival happening.
Rat races.
And yes. And we pass by the camera kind of follows somebody into the Happy Cow, some adult, as they're going to have a drink, and the camera cuts into the Happy Cow, and we see this woman that we've seen before, this beautiful human woman, tan skin, golden hair, and there's a couple halflings that she's talking to, and she's having a drink, and she's smiling, and she finishes her drink, and she goes, and the halflings look clearly sad that she's going to leave, but she's gonna take her leave for the day, and she gives them all a nice, pleasant smile, and finishes her drink, gives them a coin, and walks out of the Happy Cow, and she passes by the small children who are chasing these little rats or whatever through the streets, and she exits the city, and there's nobody outside of the city now, as everyone's taking part in the festivities, and she kind of heads off for the water. And as she's going, we see her body begin to change as she's walking, and she just begins to polymorph as she's moving, easy as breathing. And she polymorphs into a displacer beast. And she just starts running along the water, and the displacer beast is clearly happy and is running further away from Daggerford, up the coast, away from the city. And we see the displacer beast jump into the water. And again, the displacer beast polymorphs into some sea-dwelling creature, some small, fast little thing. And the creature starts swimming away into the ocean. And we're following it. We see this bright blue sky out in front of us, and then out of the water, there's almost like an explosion as this beautiful, brilliant, massive golden dragon just emerges from the water and begins flying. And we follow this dragon as she's flying north, and we see her like weaving between mountains, and she's flying not far from the road. She seems to just be enjoying herself. She flies north from Daggerford. We see her fly over Nightstone. We can see these tieflings who are rebuilding, and all these humans. They're rebuilding the keep and the castle. And there's a small cavalry of soldiers that are training. And she flies through over the Ardeep Forest, and we see these elves who are knocking arrows and training the next generation of hunters. She bursts forth out of the forest, and she flies over golden fields. And as she does so, we see that golden fields appears much as it was farmland, happy people, prayers to Shantea. We see a large tree and that seems to be tending to the children. But we do see a familiar tower that was attached to a brewery where there was a confrontation many ages ago. And that tower has been completely destroyed. and she flies north over it. She continues north, and she heads toward Womford. And Womford, much before it was a depressing, terrible place, seems to have developed a bit. A small town has cropped up, more farmland, and then she kind of veers hard left, as though she's going to fly over Bargeroid Inn. Except Bargeroid Inn isn't there anymore. The whole place appears to have been burned to the ground, just completely leveled. She continues flying north, and she passes over Grood Hog and over Belliard, all these people and places we've seen. She heads north over the Desserin Hills, flies over Yarder. We see these dock workers working. They appear to be trying to build an airship. Not successfully, but they're trying. And she continues, and she just goes up toward the sky, and she's just enjoying herself. She flies up over the Serban Hills and up past the Lurkwood. She seems to be heading for the spine of the world. And as she's getting near the spine, she kind of just veers off, but the camera continues moving toward the spine of the world. And we see familiar territory, these paths and things heading through the mountains. And we move up, and we see this tribe led by this young man, and they appear to be on some sort of hunt. And we fly past them and see them successfully killing some prey for dinner. And then we fly up this narrow hill, and we see a familiar temple. And the camera kind of slows down and passes through the gates of the temple and heads through. There's snow-blasted lands, the snow-blasted entrance to the temple. Comes through that long hallway that we've seen before, and as it passes through that main set of doors, we see that this inner temple where the statue of Arnhem stands is destroyed. The statue of Arnhem has collapsed. The ceiling has collapsed. A number of those other statues around seem to be damaged, and some of them are barely standing. And we see that this place is completely dark. It's a miracle we can see, and then the camera flies through, and it appears to flies up to the portal where some young adventurers used to speak to a giant god. And through this great distance of space and time, we can see this other room, and the camera kind of suddenly turns itself around, and there we see another familiar face. An older, wise-looking human wizard. One that has taken some time traveling from Everland. And we suddenly see him blink out of existence, and the room changes, and we see that this older mage is standing in a room we recognize as the Oracle.
Is it Crowan?
It is, in fact, Crowan. And he teleports into the room of the Oracle, and we see there that suit of armor, or that body, that decaying giant body. And we also see another giant, a frost giant. One of his arms is crippled. It's got blood around his lips like he's hurt. And it's Harshnag.
Yes, he's alive.
And Crowan
slits his throat.
Crowan reaches out a hand, and they shake hands. Without ever speaking a word, Crowan just sort of points back to the temple, and Harshnag gives him a nod, and the two of them again blink out of existence. And there we see wide open space, moons and planets, and time passing before us. And now the film's over.
I'm gonna miss Selenda. Why does everybody want to kill her now?
Oh,
White
What?
dragon!
The tree and bush never
What
showed
about
up.
the tree and bush?
They should have showed up at the funeral.
That would have been hilarious.
Oh yeah, I had a tree and bush chasing me this whole time.
Oh, you know what happens? I totally forgot about the tree and the bush, but what actually totally happens...
Sean, how do you forget about the bush, really?
It's true, I know. I'm not a big fan of bush.
Sure, you're not.
Interesting.
So, actually, I think what happens is like we we have another post credit scene where we cut back to the crypt
It's
where
like the Marvel thing. It's after everything else. And
Yeah.
just, there's that.
It is. Oh, and it's perfect because this is like the joke one. This is like the totally joke thing where we cut
Yep.
back and we see this is after Randall has read the letter. And we see him standing at the crypt of his father in Baldur's Gate. And we hear some like rustling and some weird, shouts and gasps in the city. And suddenly we see like walking into the cemetery are these two small bushes in a tree. And they just sort of like walk up to Reginald's crypt, and Randall is just standing there wide-eyed, confused. And then the bushes just sort of settle themselves outside of Reginald's crypt. And the bush kind of goes and stands over and gives shade to the crypt.
Aww.
And Randall just looks surprised and shrugs, finishes whatever prayer he was doing, and walks away.
Not the weirdest thing that's happened in Baldur's Gate.
If we return to Golden Fields, would Zelang be pregnant? I want to know that too.
Not anymore, because she had that baby.
Okay.
She had my baby.
Aw.
Hence why he starts the damn orphanage. All these single moms out there.
Yeah, it's true. So, yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
wrap up.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
end.
fantastic.
That-
So why the hell was there a dragon in Daggerford?
Yeah,
I
I
read it. That was one of the only things that I had read about in when I was flipping through this book like a year ago. That I had seen that there was like, oh, this woman in a halfling bar. This of a dragon. If the players do something, they'll have this dragon friend or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I thought that was who it was when you had mentioned this beautiful woman in that inn, but I didn't want to say anything or do anything at that point. That was cool. I was like, oh yeah, that was that dragon.
Daggerford's just a city of beautiful ladies. That's all.
Oh. Yeah, Celinda totally hunts down Ghost and eats him.
Yeah, thank you for the follow. So, no.
I think Phelan would be interested in finding Iago.
Well, so here's the thing. Just we can kind of, and we don't have a lot of time because it's almost 7. I don't mind.
right.
But, yeah, because I do still want to kind of do a post-mortem thing where we have like questions and that kind of thing. I sort of hinted at it. I wanted it to be more of a thing, but I couldn't figure out how to work it in. In my head, and this I've known for months, is that once Iago left the party, he left in such a huff that because he wanted to attack Bardrite, like that's what he wanted to have happen, and he went back, I think, to Waterdeep, and he went back to, I can't remember the name of the inn. It was like the Rusty Halberd, and he basically recruited some soldiers, and he basically started his own little. Not
Band of misfits.
basically
Mercenaries?
mercenary group is closer, and he took them and he went back to Bardrite. He's the reason Bardrite doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's what I think we all
That
think.
little fuck
Yeah.
face.
And not only that, he is no longer the same aligned paladin he was. He's actually an oathbreaker now. He clearly broke his tenets with the triad. I wrote it down somewhere. I can't remember who he aligned himself with, but it's yeah, he changed alignments. He definitely.
Wow.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
got something for Trajan too. So he makes it back to his clan and finds that they're all dead, but then he hears about a new white dragon in Baldur's Gate, and
That makes
he
total
goes,
sense. Yeah.
I'll go see if I can serve that one.
Finds out it's his friend.
Yeah,
She'd probably make him leader of her cult. With
oh
Luna.
yeah, he would like kill a bunch of things for you. He'd be like, oh, you really are a dragon now.
She's like, yeah, I used to wish.
That's awesome. Can you still make me fly?
Yeah, I can.
Yes.
Boy.
I could turn you into something that could fly, like actually fly. I could turn you into a dragon. Because at level high, if I'm high enough to cast Wish, I can also cast Shape Change. So I could totally cast Shape Change on him, turn him into a dragon for a little while.
You're so
Celinda eventually goes overboard, attacks Baldur's Gate. Alton comes in, True polymorphs into a gold dragon, eats her.
Yeah.
I do like that Selena basically sealed her fate as being killed by adventurers. Like, eventually that's going to happen to your character.
And I'm totally cool getting lost in the yawning portal shit.
So
that worked.
I had asked myself for a long time what happened to Hunter, and I came up with a bunch of shit, but I'm like, I don't know what would have happened, and I just, for some reason, the yawning part, I thought, like, he's an adventurer, like, he would want to get paid, probably, and, like, eventually ending up in the yawning portal and going wherever that took him seemed kind of interesting to me, so that's where my head was for it.
So you got both brothers more spot on than I really expected you to. Because Hunter, being the arrogant, kind of womanizing asshole, is essentially who he was. But I think you knew that just because that was the original character concept. So yeah, no, that I never expected, like, as a player, I never expected him to actually come up in the game. Because Beth is so young, it's just essentially another reason for her to keep adventuring.
Okay. Yeah, here, let's see. This is what I wrote. Upon being freed from the bonds of his allies, Iago returns to Waterdeep and succeeds in finding comrades who will travel with him. Upon arrival in Goldenfields, Iago finds the guard captain, decapitates him in broad view of the citizenry, and plants his head on a pike outside of the town gates. He professes himself as an avatar of Tyr, continues on to Bardrite. Iago manages to convince his comrades that only fire will cleanse the town. He loses a few men, but manages to burn the town to the ground. He loses connections with his gods, becomes an oathbreaker, and commits a new oath to Tempest, the god of war.
Sounds about right.
I mean, it seemed consistent with, like, the kind of character I figured.
Where his character was going by the time he left, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of where my head was with that.
It works.
I will say my original plan for Valem, he was going to retire in Waterdeep and open up his own, like, private practice, like a doctor's office. But once he rolled that 6 for divine intervention, I had to take the religious route.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's your god directly intervened with your life. That seems like
Exactly. Yeah, once he was immediately touched, like, directly by Lathander, that was it.
Pretty sure Bellion's just dead right outside of Luskin.
Probably.
I didn't even.
I like to think that
Yeah.
Bellion and Calor met each other and they just killed each other.
Yeah, I definitely didn't care enough about, like, Ghost, Quill, Bellion. Like, yeah, I can totally see Bellion, like, going into Luskin and getting himself killed or something, but just
The fact that, like, the last time we saw him, he was flying towards Luskin and it was under attack. Like, I just picture him just showing up and someone, like, he might try and participate in the fight and then someone, like, just stabs him in the back. And,
No, yeah, he shows up and runs his mouth.
yeah.
Yeah, and Luskin is not a great place to have a bunch of enemies, so that makes total sense to me. Okay, well, that's Storm
That
King's
was
Thunder,
fun.
folks.
Sean, that was
Great
very
campaign,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
amazing.
fantastic.
Very good.
All right, okay.
That was so much fun. I'm looking forward to the next. I'm also
Give
looking
the man a
forward to
break.
Blades.
Yeah, it's like,
Yes, Blades will be his break.
yeah,
Are we going to take a week off next week, or are we going to go straight into Blades?
that's up to you guys.
You're the DM. It's up to you.
I can run Blades, like, that's not a problem. That's, Blades is
I-
generally pretty easy to prep, but
I might not be here or be able to be around next Saturday. All my family is coming in to town for Christmas and then so that
am
weekend.
Sure. Everything between Christmas Eve and New Year's is kind of up in the air for me. But
So a week off, actually, if we're missing 2, and I'd say a week off.
okay.
I mean, I might be able to find for Saturday. I just don't know for sure.
Give Sean a week off to just relax.
No, to let him keep writing the new campaign so we can get started.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying.
Did you read over my
Not yet.
backstory?
Not yet. No. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of
Because I was thinking of a tie-in for Beth's character for mine.
So what I had, I guess I can close this, but what I had Gwen do was like write up a Google Doc about her character and that sort of thing. If you all want to do that, that's fine. I can't guarantee I'll get to it right away. Like I said, I'm still in brainstorming. I've got a lot of ideas that I think that are pretty cool, but that's subjective. So, and I can't share that stuff with you, which is really difficult.
I already shared